Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Hallelujah. Abba Yahweh, we told you for another day. Abba Yahweh, we told you for breathing the breath of life into all of our vessels. Abba Yahweh, we told you for having a sanctuary to worship in, to stay out of the warm temperatures. Abba Yahweh, we have somewhere cool to be able to hear the word of Yahweh and be able to worship you on this Shabbat. Abba Yahweh, continue to be with your people near and far. Abba Yahweh, continue to protect us from all elements of weather. Abba Yahweh, keep all your people cool at this very hour. Abba Yahweh, be in all of your people's minds and have that mind be in us, which was also in Yahshua. Abba Yahweh, continue to be with all the temples all over the face of this earth that is under your name at this very hour. Abba Yahweh, have those temples be a beacon of light to all that want to know you and to serve you all the days of their life. Abba Yahweh, continue to have those temples to draw more and more people that are sincere. More and more of your people that want to know you, Abba Yahweh. Drive away all amounts of evil spirits from your temples, Abba Yahweh. Let your shalom be within your sanctuary, so your word may go out and all may gain understanding of your word. Abba Yahweh, continue to give us understanding through your Torah. Have your Torah be a light unto us, be preparedness unto us and for the days that are to come. Abba Yahweh, have your word prepare us such in a way that when those dark days do come down the line, Abba Yahweh, we will know to rely solely on you. We will know not to give up and fall, Abba Yahweh. We know that you are there for us every step in the way, and you will see us through any amount of dark days. Abba Yahweh, we told you for your son Yahshua HaMashiach being that light unto the very earth, unto all of your people. And we told you for your son for giving us the way of how to follow this way of life, how to worship you, and how to make it into your almighty kingdom. And Yahshua HaMashiach's name we pray. Hallelujah. Yahweh. House of Israel, you may be seated. Shabbat Shalom, House of Israel. I say Shabbat Shalom, all that are tuning in on the live stream. Today I want to read from the book of Psalms, or Tehillim. This is Psalm 16. Psalm 16 says, "Keep me safe, O Yahweh, for in you I take refuge. I said to Yahweh, you are my Elohim. Apart from you, I have no tough thing. As for the saints who are in the land, they are the glorious ones in whom is all my delight. The sorrows of those will increase who run after other mighty ones. I will not pour out their libations of blood or take up their names on my lips. Yahweh, you have assigned me my portion and my cup. You have made my lot secure. The boundary lines have fallen for me in pleasant places. Surely I have a delightful inheritance. I will praise Yahweh who counsels me. Even at night, my heart instructs me. I have set Yahweh always before me. because he is at my right hand, and I will not be shaken. Therefore, my heart is glad, and my tongue rejoices. My body also will rest secure, because you will not abandon me to the grave, nor will you let your Kodesh one see decay. You have made known to me the path of life. You will fill me with joy in your presence, with eternal pleasures at your right hand. Hallelujah. So it says the sorrows will increase for those that don't follow Yahweh. So if we're not following Yahweh, we're doing our own things, we wonder why these things are coming upon us. You have to look at yourselves and say, am I following Yahweh? Am I doing everything that he commands of me? And when we do follow Yahweh, everything that he says, guess what? He was starting to lighten the load on you. Yisrael, do you want the load lightened off of you? So we have to follow Yahweh in order for those things to happen for us. Like I said, I always say, yeah, we in dark days now, but there's darker days to come. And if we don't prepare ourselves now, we're not going to make it. So follow Yahweh now, strengthen yourselves, prepare yourselves now, so when those days come, you will be ready. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And at this time, I'd like to turn the service over to Zarkane Dawid Yakinhan Sr. We want to receive him by saying the highest form of praise, by saying hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Shabbat Shalom Yisrael. We do give Almighty Yahweh all the praise and the honor unto that most precious name, a Kodesh name from the beginning of all eternity. When I think on that mighty name of Yah, it just brings me such great joy. So I do say Toda Yahweh, Toda Yah, for the greatness of a Shabbat, a blessedness of rest that he has granted unto the children of Israel. As I heard Deacon mention earlier, how we would pray and want Yahweh to lighten the load. We are in some troublous times, and many, as Eob said, why seeing the times are not hidden from Yahweh, do they that know him not see his days? We have to do Toda Yah. Why do we not see his days? And as the children of Israel, Elder Vix oftentimes uses the word. He says that we are a prophetical people. And that is true. Yah has given the gift of prophecy unto the children of Israel that they might be able to see. But because Israel too has chosen in many instances the path of the world and the path of the nations of the earth, then we too have not been able to see. Yah then raises messengers who speak to us through the mighty account of his work. And he asks the question, who is blind but my messenger? And who is deaf but my servant that I sent? And when we reflect on that, we are reminded of even in our own household. Husbands have to hear the things that their wives are saying. Wives have to hear the things that the husbands are saying. Children have to hear the things that the parents are saying. You have to be well aware of the environment. Who is speaking? The manner of tone and pitch in which they are speaking. So then Yisrael would want to be mindful of Yahweh's speaking and the tone and the pitch in which he is speaking. And you will find that in many instances, we as Yisrael, we would want the nations to hear us. I watch that all the time. Pardon me, everyone, as I get these visual aids together. But we want the nations to hear us. And I watch and I'm quite familiar with a lot of Yisrael and a lot of their modern day works. We are in trouble as a people. I'll tell you, we are, if I can use the word, we are nutty as a people. And we don't want anyone to say that to us or to say anything to us that would be of a rebuke yet corrective measure. No one wants to be corrected today. Everyone wants to be right in their own eyes and to do their own thing. I've come to learn, and I admit it as a young man, I learned it the hard way, but I've come to learn that I don't want to do my own thing. I don't want to do my own thing, and I don't want to know my own understanding. I don't want to know what I understand. I want to know what it is that Yah wants me to know and understand. Because the thing that I might want to know and understand may not be good for me, may not be in my best interest. But Yahweh knows all things, and we as Israel in many instances have failed to really trust Yahweh. We've proven that we don't trust Yahweh. We have a history, or to be more precise, it's in our DNA to just rebel. And that's the point of life, or the aspect that a lot of times we don't want to hear. I want to talk to you today about, as we would call ourselves, modern day awakened Israel. It's something about ourselves we as a nation need to see. So today I want to talk about awakened Israel, still doubting, still provoking, and playing with Yahweh. I want to lay that out because, see, we can look at ourselves, and there are plenty of messengers out on the YouTube channels and videos and everywhere you can look. There are plenty of people speaking. But are we, I say are we truly sent by Yahweh to do all the work that we're doing as his messengers, as his sons and daughters, as his nation? Are we really doing what Yah commands us to do? Or are we just going through some type of silly motion? See, we have to question ourselves. We have to read Yahweh's word in the context that he would have us to read it. I mean, I know for a clear-cut, solid fact. Ask me how I know. But I know for a clear-cut, solid fact that it's not easy dealing with the children of Israel, especially in what you call the 21st century. If you think reading on Korah, Abiram, and Dathan was something else, and the way that they gave Moshe, I guess we would use the word today, they gave him the blues. We're worse today, seeing that we are Yahweh's people and being able to acknowledge that we are his children. We are worse today in the arrogance of our own sin, because nobody can tell us anything. The messengers can't tell us anything that we're going to heed. The Gentile nations, they can't tell us anything that we're going to heed. I mean, come on, we're at a phase now where, I mean, to be honest, people are the utilization of electronics to communicate Yahweh's word today. In some instances, it is a beautiful thing. But like all things, things get abused. So much so that people want to be seen and want to be heard. I'm not interested in being seen or being heard. I remember years ago, before the channel was even set up, I was just as content here in Baltimore just to preach and have that little broadcast hit in the center point of the week. Invite people occasionally to come worship with us, hear the word of Yahweh, and to keep it moving. But as the time moves on and the channel was established, and you begin to meet people and you begin to hear of others and you begin to have to delve deeper and deeper into the word of Yahweh, you meet more and more of the children of Yisrael. Nutty people. Now, though we giggle in the sense of the use of that adjective, we are nutty as a people. But we are nutty because of spiritual conditions that have overcome us as a nation, that are designed by evildoers to destroy us. So when we come to understand the offensiveness of having to use the word nutty, suddenly now it's not so funny anymore, because it is designed to destroy the people that Yahweh made, and made them to obtain immortality. People that are made in the eternal excellency of his image. Just let that sink in. Made in the eternal excellency of his image. So despised are we that people hate us, yet pretend to be us, yet are no more interested in salvation than Shaitan. Why then would we as Yisrael keep doubting, keep provoking, and keep playing with Yahweh with all of that at stake? Come on now. See, I don't argue with the Jewish community. I don't argue with the Muslim community and the Christian world. I don't argue. I'm at a point now, I'm very careful how I even address the children of Israel. Because we are at a time frame in life now where our words are going to have to be so minimal in order to focus on self, to obtain salvation. I want to say this to the family of Yisrael, to those that are viewing by way of the live stream, by those of you that have my phone number, whatever the case may be. I get phone calls sometimes. Somewhere along the line, even I have to rest. Sometimes along, even I have to just stop and take a break. I was walking around in my house the other day, and it wasn't nothing personal. Nobody in the house had did to me. But a specific condition had been brought to my mind. And as the condition had been brought to my mind, I was in the house and I was fully functional. I was aware of everything that was going on, but I was in deep prayer. I didn't have time for my grandbabies. I wasn't focusing. I wasn't even talking to my Isha and the children. Nobody, I wasn't even talking because I was trying to focus on something that was so spiritually heavy. But the children of Israel, they rebuked me because they have a point with this particular aspect of the message or that particular aspect of the message. And I watch things like that. Whereas I'll say again, as a nation with all that we are up against and cannot comprehend it, these evil spirits that began to plague Noah and his sons from the precise moment that they came out of the ark. These things knew of the eternal excellency of the children of Israel that were yet to be born, and began immediately to seek to destroy Yisrael. This is why I've over the last few months or so, I stopped talking, because a lot of times you can be in the presence of people and y'all give you a most sometimes unwanted gift, and that's the ability to discern a person's spirit, where they just yapping just to be talking, and yet are really not sincere, or yet really have no unction of the seriousness of the time. And yet people will say, why are you so serious? This thing drawing to a close. You are going to be hated by all nations, simply because of one word, simply because of one name, simply because of one almighty creator. And if you can't stand in the power and strength of that, you're not going to make it, as the times, sure enough, begin to batten down. And in case you ain't checked it lately, the times certainly are beginning to batten down. He said that he gave his son a name that is to be named above all names. Just one name. And all the world hates salvation. You as the children of Yisrael, only thing I can say these very words right here in the message now. I could simply say, you better quit playing with Yahweh and walk away right now. That'd be all you need to hear. Because we have had this rehearsed in our ears, so much so. I wonder how many of the big league churches, the TD Jakeses, the Creflo Dollars, the Joel Osteens, I wonder how many of their listeners have their cell phone number, where they are just available to the people. They don't pay you no mind. They don't reach out for you. They don't concern themselves with you because they feel like they are in the big time. They hit the big league. Yet the men of Yahweh that were the big time, because Yah established the big time, they too were hated and despised and rejected among their own people. Yeshaya the prophet walked naked and barefoot for the space of 3.5 years. Most men read that, they think the man just one day up and took his clothes off like an Erykah Badu video and just walked through the street. We're just that stupid. Torah teaches us better than that. But if we read carefully and understand Yahweh's will, Yahweh had worked that messenger into the position that he wanted him into, and had impoverished him, and yet strengthened and comforted him in such a way that as he became impoverished, even as the threads of his clothes waxed old upon him, to be naked and barefooted, Yahweh was there. We think we understand Yahweh. If we understood Yahweh, there wouldn't even be so much talking in the nation of Israel. Everybody would be so ashamed of their own sins and tracks. You wouldn't even have time to correct and chastise anybody because you're so busy working on self. But when we think we're there, or when we really do not know, or when we see, Israel thinks that they can speak so rash and be right. Come on. That's the way we do. One man terrorized the whole nation of Israel. One man, a damn giant. And the whole nation was afraid of him. Why can't 20 or 30 of you go out and jump on the man? Get it over with. But the man had a spirit upon him that frightened the whole nation. And Yahweh had to raise a little bitty man. Say, come here. You go out there and go up against him. Get this stone. Get a smooth stone. Get this little bitty stone right here. They say the bigger they are, the harder they fall. Yah says, I'm going to bring them down with something so small to show my might through you. You see, we don't know Yahweh. I challenge the children of Israel. You say you know Yahweh, prove it by living the way that he said live. Prove it. That's all we have to do is prove it. I watched the Hebrews here in Baltimore. And I don't care if the brothers are listening and they hear this. These brothers have left me out here delivering Yah's word, going up against the whole system according to the will of Yah. We're not going to bring the system down. None of us has meant you're not going to go one day and just pull it down. That's not how it's coming down. We have to preach the word of Yahweh. And if the word of Yahweh hits us or it hits them, the mightiest of men, so be it. We have to declare it. But I've watched the Hebrews here in Baltimore, how they never call upon me unless they need something. It's the only time people reach out to me. Other than that, they leave me hanging. I got the faggots here in Baltimore. calling me out, threatening me real subtly, and all those different things. Brothers don't move. They don't even much as call, Brother John, you all right? What do you need us to do? Deliver the word. You preach hard and you try to teach the people. Turn from the evil of their ways. I've been out there. I know what it's like out there. But we say that we are Yisrael. If one man of Yah stands for the Torah, and you say you stand for the Torah, then you are with that man. But if that one man stands for the Torah and that man's in trouble and you leave that man hanging, you have left Yahshua hanging. So we don't think, we're into the clothing. We want to look like Israel. We think we're wearing what they wore way back then. How could that be? Is your shirt 6,000 years old? Is the thread that made your sandals and your shoes or your dress 6,000 years old? Was that the one Moshe had? And he passed it on to his son and on to his son's sons, and somehow, some way it ended up at your convenience store? No. But the clothing that Yah commands that Israel wear, we will not put it on. We think we're already dressed in it. This is the most serious way of life. That's why I don't even play with people anymore. I don't even begin to play. We're nutty. And yet we have to pray for one another to come up out of that, because these are evil spirits. I remember many years ago in the Assembly of Yahweh, we were at 1345 West North Avenue, many years ago. And a man came in one day, he was talking, and he had a lot of mouth, and you could really feel the brother's spirit that he didn't know anything. He'd been in prison, and in that what we call greater confinement, it caused him to read the book. And upon reading the book, the revelation jumped upon him. Boop, you're chosen, you're sent, go preach. But you could have did that on the street. You could have read that book every day, right on the street. You don't need no greater confinement to turn to Yahweh. But Yah brought it to my attention at that precise moment, and I never forgot that the people are going to be coming to Yahweh in all kinds of shapes and conditions. And I never forgot that. And that's why in a lot of instances, I ain't going along with your sin. I don't care who you are. If I find out, I know about it, I'm going to rebuke that. I'm going to teach you about it. I'm going to show you how to do better. I'm not going along with nobody in this sin. I ain't got no buddies, no homeboys, no pals. I only have the family of Yisrael. But I learned how to deal with things like that because I want Yahshua to have mercy upon me for any of my faults, my failures, or my shortcomings. So then we have to have that for each other. And I'll say it again, that don't mean tolerate one another's sin. The scripture says that thou shalt surely rebuke thy neighbor and not allow sin upon him. See, sometimes you can't say something to people because they get offended. So they think that their offense puts them in the right and you in the wrong for having told them the truth. See how Satan twists things? See, if we measure ourselves with the Torah, then we learn whether or not we're right. You see, we talk too much as a people. You can't get people. It's amazing, man, to get you all to sit still for 5 hours. Watch this. Watch this. By a show of hands on the Shabbat. How many of you sit still for at least 5 hours just to hear the word? At least 5 hours, just by a show of hands. I love your honesty today. And what I mean by 5 hours, think about this. Shabbat Eve, the messengers, they ain't gonna preach no more than 2. And with me on Shabbat day, you ain't getting no more than 3. Sometimes we go right up to about 2:59. 5 hours. How many hours in a week? How many hours you give to the man? So who's losing? The man, Yahweh, or yourself? You see? We have a hard time just giving Yahweh 5 hours. 5 hours. Come on, Yisrael. You aren't going to be mad at me today, so you might as well pause, take a deep breath. Might as well get it in now. Because we have to be taught. No, don't say help us. No, help yourselves. You have to help yourselves by obeying Yahweh. So you can't just say, I'm Yisrael. We'll do whatever we want to do. A tree is known by the fruit that it bears. When the scripture says that his mercy endures forever, people take that to mean that no severe judgment or destruction of any type will ever come upon them. That's what people take that to mean. They write that in. No, 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 no. Yah endures forever, so he is mercy. His mercy, therefore, endures forever unto all generation. That doesn't mean everybody just sin automatically blotted out. Anybody teaching that is a devil. Anybody teaching that is a liar. If everybody's sin is forgiven and all sins will always and forever be blotted out, what was the purpose of creating hell? Come on now. Why did he create it if he's just going to forgive everybody? In the book of Yeshayah, he says further that things in the earth had gotten so out of hand. He reminded the children of Israel that hell hath enlarged herself to meet you at your coming. So then more are going there than were intended to go. But his mercy endures forever. So the children of Israel, they play with Yahweh. Psalm 136, it says, "Oh, give thanks unto Yahweh, for he is tough, and his mercy endureth forever. Oh, give thanks unto Yahweh, the Elohim of all gods, for his mercy endureth forever. Oh, give thanks to Yahweh of all the lords, for his mercy endureth forever. To him who alone doeth great wonders, for his mercy endureth forever. To him that by wisdom made the heavens, for his mercy endureth forever. To him that stretched out the earth above the waters, for his mercy endureth forever. To him that made great lights, for his mercy endureth forever." I'm going to stop right there. Even you are described as the children of light. His mercy endures forever. Why does Yisrael constantly play with Yahweh with all the history that we have as a people that demonstrate every manner of sin, fault, failure, shortcoming, transgressions, error, every mistake we've ever made is documented somewhere in the word of Yahweh so that we too are able to learn from it. Scripture says that the former things that were written for our learning. What are we learning from it? If the conditions of life and things that are all around us can't be made better by the power of Yahweh. You as Yisrael in the latter days of this earth, if you've come to know him, have no business being depressed and stressed out and bugged out about financial conditions and social conditions of the earth. You have no business being bogged down by all of that. Yah grants Yisrael as his nation favor. Even in the midst of all the sin and chaos of the world, Yahweh is there. A lot of times we love to just talk so much. It's all, we just love to be caught yapping. But we don't love to get caught by Yahweh living it. And that's where the fault lies. We don't put all our effort in living what Yah commands that we do. We don't put all of our energies into that. We put our energies into fooling ourselves and thinking that Yahweh is there. We never let the word of Yahweh speak to us, or we never let Yahweh's word speak for himself. Let's go to the book of Isaiah 57. I want to show you all something. Yahweh speaks to the children of Israel. He speaks to the wicked when pushed. Nobody can say and do things and get away with it and work around and think that they've gotten away with it. We as the children of Israel, I listen to us, I watch us, I see our writings, our posts, our comments. I look at a lot of these things. And we as a people of Yahweh, we so often, thank you so much, Todia. We so often think ourselves to just be righteous because we have awakened to the fact that our forefathers were the children of Israel. Look at the nations of the world. Look at this bogus 12 tribes chart, for example. This is probably one of the most conflicting points in all the history of the children of Israel, because a group of stupid men decided that they were going to love everybody before they loved themselves. The old folks have a saying, and it is true. Charity begins at home before it spreads abroad. When you go out in the street, anybody that grew up in Tom, you older folks now, when your parents let you go outside to play, when it was dinner time, they called you in. They didn't call the whole neighborhood. Hey, neighborhood, all little children, it's dinner time. Come on, come eat, come eat. It doesn't matter how much you love and honor. Your incomes did not allow for that. So your parents called you in for dinner. Occasionally, your friend could come and eat dinner with you, and occasionally you could eat with them. But it was dinner time. You were called. You don't call everybody. So our brothers have just created a chart and just drew all the nations in. Nations where, when we study their historic makeup, we trace them back as far as we can with the writings of man. And there's a pattern missing. You find no spiritual connections whatsoever to the book. None of the things that were commanded of old, you do not see the Seminole Indians, the Latino. Let's get them all in there, because see, this is a big fight now. Because I'll say it again. Everybody's pretending to be the children of Israel, but yet hate the children of Israel. How are you going to pretend to be that which you hate? You have to emulate it in every aspect, which means even down to righteousness. Which means if you hate them, but you emulate the righteousness, that righteousness will now command you to love them. How you going to continue to hate them and buck them out and think you're going to obtain salvation, while the children of Israel hate themselves and prove it by seeking to not obey Yahweh? I get so tired of our mouths as people. We're so hung up on ancient Egypt and all the. We lie like a soaking wet rug. We lie about everything. We don't know our history. We don't know the point of origin. We don't know how we got in the conditions that we in. We give credit and honor to everything but Yahweh. And we wait on everything to deliver us, even with a historic track record of everything that we've ever done having failed us. We continue to hold fast to it. We put faith in it, even when we do not know what faith is. That's shameful. I listen to all the people that keep attacking me. All they keep saying, that's why we must vote. You always got the same old silly answer. That's why we must vote. Well, you voted for the person, and they didn't do what you needed them to do. Don't keep saying, that's why we must vote. No, that is why you must not vote. You sent them on a mission, and they failed you. You simply say, well, there will not be another. You will not get a chance to do that to me again. We keep playing the same old game. We rebel against Yahweh. Yahweh talks tough too. I like to read in the word when Yahweh talk tough, especially when you see when he gets sick of people and he speak up to them. Isaiah 57, he says, the righteous perish, and no man layeth it to heart. And merciful men are taken away. None, considering that the righteous is taken away from the evil to come. Look at that. Many of our elders and the older men in days gone by, they've fallen asleep in Hamashiach. Yah has moved them off the scene. They've laid the track work. People have fought them, challenged them, debated them, gone against them. Yah called them off the scene. Times grew worse. They're no longer here to deal with it. They finished their course. We are here. We debate them. We challenge them. We have a new generation of leadership. They challenge everything and understand nothing. This is sad. It says, he shall enter into shalom. They shall rest in their beds, each one walking in his uprightness. Well, Yahweh is our uprightness. You hear me? So when he walks in his uprightness, he has no fear. But draw near hither, ye son of the sorcerer. I like this part. I love the way Yahweh tells, come here, you son of the sorceress. You seed of the adulterer and the whore. Look how Yah calls them out. First thing he did, he start talking about their parents. See how it works? He says, come here, you son of a sorceress. You seed of the adulterer and a whore. It's as if he's saying in verse 4, who do you think you're talking to? Look at what he says. He says, against whom do you spot yourselves? And against whom make ye a wide mouth? Who are you talking to like this? Shut your fat mouth. See how y'all's talking to them? See, everybody wants you to talk all soft and tender to them. All the time. I have people all the time, they talk some tough trash to me. And when I roar back, all of a sudden I'm wrong. That's what they do there. You're wrong. I watched the man in a store early in the week. So you gotta be careful to entertain strangers, just like Torah said, because some have entertained the malak of Yah unaware. There's a little man. He follows this channel. He's on social media and everything. He knows what we stand for here. And there's this brother. He doesn't seem to understand that the physical chains are off of us now. So you're a little free in the 21st century. You ain't got to buck dance and yassa anymore. You don't have to do that. So I saw a little man, little white man, bag of ice and some sodas, step on his foot. And he snatched his foot from under the man's foot and he says, I'm so sorry, sir. And it sounded just like something out of a country movie, Chicken George or something. But this is the same man that likes to berate me. He's always got something negative to say to me. So I stopped. I looked at it. I wasn't going to pass that one up. I said, hey, man, it's the 21st century. You do know you're free, right? He said, what do you mean? I said, that man stepped on your foot. I said it in front of the little white man. I said, that man stepped on your foot and you apologizing to him. So what kind of man are you? And I looked at the little white man and he looked back at me. You could tell he was pissed. I wanted the brother to understand. Stop clowning for other nationalities. If you're wrong, you're wrong. Treat all men equal. You're not gonna embarrass me, treat me like I'm a dog, and then you got respect for those and the children of those that have brought you into captivity and don't give a damn about you to this day. And I looked at the man's little racist tattoos and all the stuff he had on his arm. So you gotta be able to read that stupid stuff. And I said to the brother, we free now, man. You can stand up. You ain't got to apologize to him. He stepped on your foot. Stop being so soft that you're afraid because your foot hit the earth first. You got to now apologize to him because his foot hit yours. And the little man paid for his ice and he went on out the door. And the poor brother just stood there. And I don't understand why you talking to me like that. No, you did. You were all right when you talked to me like that in front of the police. You hit me with the broom. Say, hey, I'm giving you some bad luck. Hope you go to jail. Get him, officer. The police stopped and looked at him. I said, brother, I don't believe in that. I said, men that pray, that live righteousness, we don't believe in good luck and bad luck. We believe in righteousness and unrighteousness. So you and your broom can go to hell. I said, people get offended when you talk to them like that, but they'll do it to you. So I rebuked the man. I rebuked him in Yahshua's precious name. Because see, we are so busy trying to make certain that everybody gets saved, that everybody make it in. We won't even fight to make it in ourselves, which means keep the commandments of Yahweh. This is why Yah has to talk to us sometimes. We sport ourselves. We are the children of transgression. He says we are the seed of falsehood. Look at that. The seed of false. That meant your parents were false. You are now their seed. You are false. What do you think you can produce? Inflaming yourselves with idols. He says, under every green tree, slaying the children in the valleys, under the cliffs of the rock. Why are we the ones in America right now fighting so hard for abortion? You notice that it's us fighting so hard to protect it. Why are we the ones fighting so hard to hold the whole system up that Yahweh is determined to bring down? Do we really want Yahshua's kingdom to come? I'm going to go back and get a quote, something that Yahshua said too. Don't be fooled by people now. Messages are going forth and it's not true. Something Yahshua said. I want to see any preacher get around that. I want to see them say Yahshua lied about this. Yahshua told you something specific about his coming. I want to see the preachers get around what he said. Oh yeah, I'm going to get to it. You might not give Yahweh 5 hours, but inside of the next 2, you're going to learn something. So here's the people, we just play with Yahweh. Yahweh calls many of us to the knowledge of his truth. But when we get to it, we don't even know how to properly conduct ourselves. Have you ever noticed that? That's what the children of Israel do. Come on. A lot of our brothers and sisters, they're in prison, they're on drugs, they're in the streets or what have you. They get cleaned up and suddenly righteousness becomes a funk. It becomes a stench. They're so holy now, you can't even hardly look at them. That's not what Yah's calling for. This way of life, after the fall of man and our return to Yahweh, will cause us to hang our heads so low because we have become the seed of falsehood. Remember, after Adam transgressed, everything that came upon the face of this earth now came through the lineage of that sin. We try our best to forget that. And every now and then we'll see where the messengers of Yahweh were born and they will get it right. They were living it. They were proclaiming it. They were teaching it. Today, everybody says that Yahweh was talking to them. Isn't that what Korah, Abiram, and Dathan, and the 250 princes said to Moshe and Aaron? Isn't that the same thing they said to the men of Yahweh? They said, oh, the people are holy. You take too much responsibility upon yourself. Hey, well, where were you when I was in there fighting with Pharaoh? I needed your help. Why didn't you come there and stand beside? Where were you then? There was nowhere to be found. They were in the back. I hope he can get us out of this. What do you think? You think he can do it? I hope he get us out of there. He got him out of there. All right, we got it from here. We'll take it, Moses. That same spirit followed us out of Egypt. It followed us into the Americas. It followed us into Australia. It followed us into Russia. It followed us into Canada. It followed us down into Africa. It followed us into the Americas. Wherever we are, those same spirits have followed us. What kind of spirit can be upon us when we are so sorry, so trifling, so immoral, so wicked that everything we know has been turned around so that we think we're right, even sometimes and in some instances when we ourselves know we are dead wrong? What kind of spirit could be working within our vessel to make us go directly against what's written and tell us that we are right when we are dead wrong? To get back to Yahweh is not going to be great numbers. The book teaches us that. It's not going to be great numbers. He says that the road is a straight and narrow path. It ain't a party. Israel, you got to tell yourselves, you give more honor and credence to the man than you do Yahweh. You know the man is really working on ways to control you, right? He's determined he's going to control everything on the planet. Everything got to abide by his rule. He got the banking system, so you're going to bank according to his rules. You're going to learn education. He's got the education. You're going to learn according to his educational system. In fact, if he has his way, and we're praying for understanding and reading the scriptures like we ought to, if he has his way, he got something so diabolical that it's almost unbelievable that he intends to do to you. And I got a moment, might as well tell you about it. I ain't even gonna tell the people today what I'm reading from. A lot of times people they think they so smart. They gonna watch this. Wednesday's newspaper. See, if you're stupid like me, sometimes you catch this stuff. If you're super smart like a lot of our leaders today, you ain't even gonna see this. You ain't even gonna pay it no mind. Baby steps to linking man, mind, and machine. Wednesday, July 17th. This week. Elon Musk aspires to make inserting a computer connection into your brain as safe and painless as LASIK surgery. Remember how they used to remove cataracts from people's eyes? Years ago, they'd go and literally take a blade and scrape it off the person's eye, have them in surgery. They literally did. Well, they got it so down pat now, it's a laser. Ain't even got to touch you. Lay down, open your eye, don't blink. Run the laser across your eye, you get it. Can you see? I'm not sure. All right, here, put this patch over, go home, come back in 7 days. Come back in 7 days, you can see everything. You can see through the wall. Yeah, I see. On Tuesday evening, Neuralink, write that down, Neuralink, 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 a company in which Mr. Musk has invested $100 million, was expected to detail the baby steps it has taken toward the goal. Neuralink planned to describe a sewing machine-like robot that can implant ultra-thin threads deep into the brain. The company claims the system will eventually be capable of reading and writing vast amounts of information. Can you hear that? But as with many of Mr. Musk's ventures, like spaceships or futuristic tunnels, one of the biggest challenges may be for his scientists to match the grand vision. Mr. Musk, the billionaire chief executive of the electric car maker Tesla, who has famously claimed that he wants to die on Mars, just not on impact, has a reputation for doing bold things as well as making even bolder claims that stretch credulity. Like artificial intelligence, the idea of inserting a device into the brain that would allow speedy communications between humans and computers veers quickly into science fantasy. And in his 1984 science fiction novel, Neuromancer, William Gibson posted the idea of something he called a Microsoft. A Microsoft, a small cartridge inserted directly connected to the brain by way of a socket to provide a human user with instant knowledge, such as a new language. You hear that? See, Hollywood played with that. Johnny Mnemonic, all that other stupid stuff, downloading information in your head. See, we got brothers that don't pay attention to stuff. They poo-poo everything you're trying to get them to see. But yet this stuff is written in Yah's word, and they keep ducking it. They are so afraid that the only answer they have to Yisrael is to lie about it. Tell Yisrael the truth. This earth is a mess, and is slowly but surely growing worse. You have no help outside of Yahweh, Yahshua. You have no help outside of Yahweh, Yahshua. You're not going to have anything to hide. You're not, come on. How you going to pay taxes on your homes, your land, your cars, and all that if the society goes cashless? How you going to pay it? We do not understand who has command of the earth. We think everything is funny. We think everything gonna be all right. We do not know what we are up against with the people that run the earth. You know what? Here's a good one for you all. I found a book early in the week. I didn't bring the book, but that's all right. The book is entitled Eyes in the Sky. Interesting chapter in the book. Chapter called Murder in Baltimore. I got some space in the chapter. In the chapter I'm reading it, they talking about me. I'm dead serious. They're in the book talking about me because I fought against them, trying to implement it here in Baltimore. You got to read between the lines. You got to catch on to what they were saying. You got to see how they complained about some charismatic leader stood up for, I ain't charismatic enough. You just got to pay attention to how they were fighting against somebody that told them this is of the devil. This is going to destroy everybody. The United States Army was involved in it. The Air Force was involved. The Pentagon was involved. All of this stupid stuff because the man kept saying, if you want to stop crime, you have to tell the people, keep the commandments of Yahweh. But the slaves, they look just like me, don't want that said. They're saying, bring in the white man and his machines and his eyes in the sky so they can watch us all 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And they described how they're going to monitor everything you do. You wouldn't be able to blink outside on the street corner without them seeing it and saying, he didn't even shave today. So it's an honor to be called out by Satan's children, to obey Yahweh. Even if I have to stand and do it by myself, it makes no difference to me. I know that Yahweh got messengers somewhere in this earth. And I'm telling you, Yisrael, when you find them, you better shut the hell up and do what they say do. Because Yahweh told the children of Yisrael, you got some rough, tough days coming. But our people today, they're attacking the messengers. They go after the messengers. They want to tell us what to do. But I said before, Yahweh calls us to this way of life. And when we get to him, we get there and don't know how to conduct ourselves. Matthew 22. They were talking to Yahshua about something. And he taught them a deep subject matter that everybody can't catch. See, if you've ever been to a wedding, there's something interesting about weddings. It's that day. Everybody at the wedding wants to be dressed. They want to be neat. They want to be clean. They want to be pretty. Don't nobody want to come to no wedding smelling. You done worked all day now. You hot and sweaty in your sweatsuit or whatever it is you work in. And now somebody getting dressed, the bride, the groom, they there, they ready, looking beautiful. And you come in all hot and sweaty. You smelling up the place. Don't nobody want to show up at a wedding like that. And nobody want anybody to show up like that. Am I correct? Now, y'all was so merciful. Yahshua said unto them in a parable, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a certain king, which made a marriage for his son. And he sent forth his servants to call them that were bidden to the wedding. And they would not come. And again, he sent forth other servants, saying, tell them which are bidden, behold, I have prepared my dinner. My oxen and my fatlings are killed, and all things are ready. Come unto the marriage. But they made light of it, and went their ways, one to his farm, another to his merchandise. And the remnant took his servants and entreated them spitefully and slew them. And when the king heard thereof, he was wroth, and he sent forth his armies and destroyed those murderers and burned up their city. Then said he to his servants, the wedding is ready, but they which were bidden were not worthy. Go ye therefore into the highways, and as many as ye shall find, bid to the marriage. So those servants went out into the highways and gathered together all, as many as they found, both bad and good. And the wedding was furnished with guests. Isn't that beautiful? See, Yisrael was bidden to come to the marriage first, but they counted themselves unworthy. They took it lightly. They paid him no mind. They didn't even give him 5 hours. The Gentile nations, you all can talk tough to anybody you want to talk tough to. That's your mouth. That's your business. You ain't going to do it to me. I read this book very well. He told them, go out into the highways. That's how you all come across the word. You were blessed to come across Yahweh's word because Yah raised up the apostles. And he scattered them. He sent them to go preach and teach the word. You all did not have it. I don't care that you don't like me because my skin is brown. I don't care that you don't like me because my hair is kinky. I don't care that you don't like me. You did not have his word. Men, thousands of years ago, that looked just like me brought it unto you. And when you got it, you got angry and you rose up. And men that look just like me, you brought us into captivity because of our transgressions. You now print the book, but Yahweh printed our DNA. You cannot erase this from us. You cannot take this from us. Yahweh cannot lie. I tried to tell my loved brother the other day, listen, my dear friend, being born into captivity gives no more excuse for rising up being wrong in Israel than it does having been born in the land. All real and true Israel are going to remain faithful to Yahweh, and they will not sin. They will not transgress his Torah. But when we run our mouths and we act silly and we buck against Yahweh's word because we have never been fully sat down like a shaken soda, we got a lot of gas on our chest. We want to get it off. But we got to be careful with that because we can end up proving that we're not his. So he sent his messengers to those nations. And that's how everybody has opportunity to come to Yahweh. Yahweh has not rescinded his covenant with Israel. He has renewed it. He has renewed it. And the children of Israel are still going to teach those Gentile nations. He's going to teach them. That irks them when they hear a man say, you're going to come under us, whether you like it or not. You are going to come under us. You're going to do it. You're going to do it. Does that what bother you all when somebody say you're going to come under us? You're going to go into captivity? You're going to submit? You're going to do it? Is that what bothers you? Let me say that 12 times. You're going to do it. You're going to do it. You're going to do it. Is that 3? You're going to do it, do it, do it. That's 6. You're going to submit to Yah's Torah through the children of Israel. You're going to do it, do it, do it. That's 9. Whether you like it or not, you're going to do it, do it, do it, or else be destroyed. Yisrael, stop doubting, provoking, and playing with Yahweh. Live according to the Torah of truth. You got to work ahead of you. We keep playing. Oh, I'm out. Oh, I'm in. Oh, I'm out. Oh, I'm out. I'm out. Praise him. Hallelujah. Oh, I'm sick. Oh, got pain. Oh, can't make it. Oh, it's job. Live the Torah. Live it. When you live it, you ain't got no whole lot to talk about because you're too busy living it. That's all that there is to that. You ain't got no whole lot to talk about. You can cut off in the middle of a conversation, let a person know, look, I ain't even argue with you. You stay right there where you at. You stay there. I'm going to leave that. You ain't going to keep on arguing with people now. The scripture commands you after a while, you got to shut up. You got to stop arguing with people. The faggots rose up against me early in the week. I let them know, I hear you dogs barking. I hear you dirty damn dogs barking. The man talked to me and I quoted the scripture. He said, well, you might as well stop talking right there if you're going to quote the Bible to me. And I stopped. And I wanted that much to know. I didn't stop because you shut me down. I stopped because the scripture reminded me, give not that which is holy unto dogs. Damn you. But don't come barking in my direction now, because I'll yank your chain. We as Hebrews, we play with the people of the world too much. Sometimes all you got to do is just pronounce the judgment. Back up and pronounce it. That's what Moshe did. They bucked on Moshe too, but Yahweh was with him. So we try to love everybody, and they try to manipulate you on that. Well, you got to love everybody. Really? The devil is somebody. Go on, love him. Didn't Yahweh tell you friendship with the world is enmity with Yahweh? Does the devil have the world? Did he not talk to Yahshua himself? Did he not say? He showed him all the kingdoms of the world in a moment of time and said, all this will I give you if you bow down and worship me, for all this is given in my hand. He wasn't lying. This earth is given into the hands of the wicked. But he was talking to the rightful owner of it. It's just loaned to him for a set period of time. So he's going to tell him to do that. Come on. We are so afraid to set the world straight. That's why a lot of times you feel bad. That's why a lot of times you got to also think, because you let people talk to you any kind of way and you don't shoot God's word out there to shut them down. They can, every one of them that hate the truth of Yahweh, you can unsubscribe, get off the channel at a moment's notice. If something's preached that you don't like, go find truth elsewhere. So you got to do. If I'm that much of a liar, you ain't got to keep on sitting back watching me. I got a notification the other day, dear brother, you told me you got 2 videos up on your channel you'd like me to look at. I never even responded to the message. Love you dearly, dear brother, but I want you to understand something. I ain't newly learning. I was born in this way of life. You told me Yahweh sent you and he didn't send me. I'm trying to figure out what you keep on waiting on. If he sent you, you better go preach. As far as me watching your videos, what good does me rating you do? I ain't looked at a single video. I ain't got time to be looking at nobody's videos. I'm laboring in the word. I'm doing the best I can. And I suggest you get on up and run around the track a couple dozen times, trim some of that fat off your back, and get on out and go do the work of Yahweh. I'm not here to play with you. I love you dearly, but I'm not going to play with you. This is a hard work. They will kill you for the name of Yahweh. You keep on sitting back, glory hawking here. They will stretch you out for the truth. Are you ready to die for Yahshua? Then you shut your fat mouth. These people out here ain't playing. Can you stand up under the pressure of death threats? Can you stand up under the pressure of when they literally run down on you? Everybody talking. But this is a serious work. And it requires you to shut your mouth. I talked to a little preacher the other day, a little elderly man. I've known, they call him Rev. I've known the man for now close to 25 years or so. He talked to me the other day about the scripture. I started to tear the fur off him. Spirit, let me just be quiet. Let him go. He's old now. He's elderly. He doesn't know any better. He's too old to learn. He said, yeah, Miriam and Aaron rebuked Moses because he married that black girl. And I stood there and I looked at him. You can tell a person ain't believe nothing you say, because sometimes you talk to a person, they shift. Body language says everything. And I ain't gonna lie, I didn't even catch myself at the time. I just heard him say it and I shifted and looked at him. I realized, see, you one of them. You think the children of Israel were white. That's why you don't know what to say to your own brothers and sisters. Because the power of what's in the book concerning you, you have placed it upon someone else psychologically. So you don't know what to say to your brethren to heal them. So then you keep preaching in the Lord. You keep preaching in God. You keep trying to soothe them because you don't know what to say, because you don't see yourself in the book. I was led to let him talk. I let him run his little mouth. When he was done talking, I said, all right, I got to go. I'm gone. I went on about my business. What he said didn't hurt me one way or the other. You don't want to get too old to learn in Yahweh. His mercy endures forever. In the wisdom of Sirach, he teaches us that if a man lived to be 100 years of age and yet he repent of all his sins in his last 3 years of his life, Yahweh said he will save him. But if Yahweh tell you he ain't going to save this one or say that and he reveal it, there's nothing you can do. You can cry out and pray for loved ones and roll and wallow in them all night. If Yahweh ain't going to save them, ain't no saving them. We can sit in the sanctuary of Yahweh and pretend to be Yahweh's people all we want. But if Yahweh don't change us, Yahweh ain't planning on saving us. We have to come to him completely. You don't come to Yahweh with half your foot still in the discotheque. You come out all the way. You don't come to Yahweh with half your foot in the liquor house. You come out all the way. You don't come to Yahweh with half your foot still in their world affair. You come out all together. You don't go in the house and leave your foot out there and slam the door shut. Now, do you? You take the whole body in the house, don't you? You don't go and take no bath and leave the foot hanging out the tub. Now, do anybody do that? Better wash them feet. You put everything in the tub, right? You don't leave your head in the room on the bed. I'll be right back. What you doing? I'm going to go take a bath. And you just screw this off. Leave it on the bed. Walk. You don't function like that. Why come to Yahweh half-heartedly? Why come to Yahweh haphazardly? See, sin is a hazard to us. We don't realize that. It's a hazard. It's a moral hazard to us. because it can destroy us. Let's do this real quick. And you got people sitting up talking about controlling you by putting stuff in your brain. Yahweh wants to put the Ruach HaKodesh there. We fight that. Sometimes you got to read the books of Yahweh, the lost word and thing. Sometimes you can't even tell people you're reading from. I'm going to tell you why. See, we take everything as a fad. Remember in the 70s when they were wearing the dashikis? Hey, everybody wearing, where did that come from anyway? Hey, remember that? Everybody wearing dashiki, had the big afro pick, and the men was carrying a pocketbook. How about that? Remember that one? Look, some of y'all look like, what? Yeah, the brothers wearing pocketbooks in the late 60s and 70s. They had their big high heel shoes, just like the sisters, and they put the man purse on. Brother told me, yeah, that's called the merce. I said, really? It's the worst. Yeah, exactly. Well, see, we try to hold on to stuff. Same way with the lost books, the suppressed books. After a while, it become a fad among Israel. No, 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 no. You can't take Yahweh's word and make specific things a fad. You have to be living it. Because see, then when you go into the lost books and they start backing up the books that you got in your possession, and you discover you haven't even mastered the ones that are in your possession, you're in deep trouble. Listen to this. If you know where I'm reading from, total Yahweh. If you don't, that's all right. Just enjoy this. Love uprightness, you who judge the land. Think of Yahweh with goodness, and seek him with sincerity of heart. For he is found by those who do not try him, and is manifested to those who do not disbelieve him. For crooked reasoning separates from Yahweh, and when his power is tested, it exposes the fools. For wisdom cannot enter a deceitful soul, or live in a body in debt to sin. For the Ruach HaKodesh of instruction will flee from all deceit, and will rise and leave at unwise reasoning, and be put to confusion at the approach of wrong. For wisdom is a kindly spirit, and will not acquit a blasphemer of what he says. For Yahweh is a witness of his heart, and a truthful observer of his mind, and a hearer of his tongue. You see what it says about Yahweh? He's a witness of the heart, a truthful observer of his mind, and a hearer of his tongue. For the spirit of Yahweh fills the world. I kept saying last week, these people don't even believe in Yahweh and can't even define the breath of life. Any one of you can get up right now. I challenge you, go do it. Just go ahead and sprint real quick, 100-yard dash, and run right back in here. See if you ain't breathing heavy. That body fighting to retain that air. And you're fighting to get that air back at sufficient enough levels to breathe properly. Now that's a natural law of the universe. The body naturally fights to retain that air, correct? But then there is an even greater law. When it is time to die, that body can fight all day. That air is going to obey Yahweh, and it's coming out. You doubt he exists? Let me see you beat those odds. I ask all the atheists there, stop breathing for 5 minutes, come on back, tell me what it was like. Stop. We don't even have to give you 3 days and 3 nights like y'all sure. I'll give you 5 minutes. Stop breathing and come on back, tell me how it was. Ain't a man did it yet. But yet they smarter than Yahweh and say he doesn't exist. Yeah, well, just your breath alone is proof. Even if it do stink. For the spirit of Yahweh fills the world, and that which embraces all things knows all that is said. Therefore, no one who utters what is wrong will go unobserved, nor will justice in its investigation pass him by. You see that? For there will be an inquiry into the designs of the unrighteous, and the sound of his words will reach Yahweh to convict him of his transgressions. For a jealous ear hears everything, and the sound of grumbling is not hidden. So beware of useless grumbling. I keep telling you, Yisrael, shut your mouth. Stop talking so much, and spare your tongue from slander. For no secret word goes for naught, and a lying mouth destroys the soul. Do not invite death by the error of your life, or incur destruction by the work of your hands. For Yahweh did not make death, and he does not enjoy the destruction of the living. For he created everything to exist, and the generative forces of the world are wholesome, and there is no poison drug in them. And the kingdom of hell is not on earth, for uprightness is immortal. Did you hear that? Uprightness is immortal. But unrighteous men, by their acts and words, have summoned him. What have they summoned? They have summoned death. They thought him their friend and softened and made an agreement with him. Doesn't Isaiah 28 tell you that at that time Yahweh said, and your covenant with death shall be annulled? They made an agreement. Look, let's slide these people in here too. Group of black people. I had a fight with them in 94. See, people think I'm new to this. But I have stood up against the enemies of the children of Israel. I ain't new to this. I've been fighting them. Sometimes you look at them, expose them. Sometimes you just got to call them out, say something to them, and then you learn they against Yahweh. As a group of men, they established a secret society back in 1909. Secret society, they called themselves Sigma Pi Phi. They disguised themselves as a fraternity on the college campuses. Really, what it was, they had cut a deal with a group of the most powerful, wealthiest people on the planet. Now, these men, they cut a deal with death, and they called themselves Skull and Bones. So these Skull and Bones men worship death. That's why they don't have a problem financing wars and bombing nations and killing people, doing all this stuff, financing abortion clinics and poisoning food supplies and water, all this. They are into death. Real heavy. They worship Lucifer. So now these black men see these men surviving and doing all this great stuff around the world. Great doesn't always mean good. It can mean tremendous, enormous. So these black men didn't honor Yahweh, cut a deal with him. So they blessed them and allowed them a charter to form their own little secret society. Call themselves Sigma Pi Phi. They use this Greek word called boule. It is a word that means advisors to the king. Well, look, little Mr. White Man, you the king of the earth. We just want to advise you. I know our people is something else. They listen, we'll tell you how to get rid of them, but you got to spare us in exchange for getting rid of them. And thus the deal was born. You understand? So when Yeshayah says what Yahweh says, that your agreement with death should be a disannul, meaning I'm going to cut that deal with you. I'm going to give you some death you ain't going to never recover from. But you can't tell them nothing. So you kind of like leave them out there. Sigma Pi Phi, in turn, sits over the 9 fraternities and sororities that govern all the kind. They over all of them. You wonder why you can't get free? Your sons and your daughters, and the Sigma Theta, this and that, and the other, alphabet, beta, whatever you call them, all them alphabet stuffs, your children learn this stuff when they pledge. And as they pledge, they get let in. Because now they know you are in on the secret, you're going to keep the secret, so we'll let you up the ladder, up the chain. You in turn must pull another brother or sister as they pledge, up the ladder, up the chain. If it was so fair and so just, any old random person would be making it. Not all your judges being members of fraternities and sororities. Not all your council representatives and other persons, attorneys and judges and all being members of specific. If it were just and fair, any and everybody could make it. So you have to understand, when Yahweh says, come out of her, he means come out. You don't come out and bring the doctrine with you. You come out. Leave all the filth. If the house is burning, you can't run around in there trying to save every little thing. Oh, the China cabinet is on fire. Get it. It's burning. You can't get it. We're going to try anyway. So listen to this. He says, and they made an agreement with him. They are fit to belong to his party. For they did not reason soundly, but said to themselves, well, our life is short and miserable. There's no cure when man comes to his end, and no one has been known to return from hell. For we were born at a venture, and hereafter we shall be as though we have never existed, because the breath of our nostrils is smoke, and reason is a spark in the beating of our hearts. When it is quenched, the body will turn to ashes, and the spirit will dissolve like empty air. In time, our name will be forgotten, and no one will remember what we have done. Our life will pass away like the traces of a cloud, be scattered like mist, pursued by the sun's rays and overcome by its heat. For our life is a fleeting shadow, and there is no way to recall our end, for it is sealed up, and no one can bring it back. So come, let us enjoy the good things that exist, and eagerly make use of the creation that we did in our youth. Let us have our fill of costly wine and perfumes, and let us not miss the spring flowers. Let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they wither. Let none of us miss his share of our revelry. Everyone, let us leave the signs of our gladness, for this is our portion and this is our lot. Let us oppress the upright poor. Listen to them. Let's oppress them. Let us not spare the widow, or respect the venerable gray head or the aged. But let our strength be our law of uprightness. For weakness is proved useless. You hear them? For weakness is proved useless. Yahshua said, for in weakness is my strength made perfect. See how they defy him? Come on, let's go. Let us lie wait for the upright, for he inconveniences us and opposes our doings, and reproaches us with our transgression of the law, and charges us with sin against what we have been taught. He professes to possess knowledge of Yahweh and calls himself a child of Yahweh. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, that's you. Yeah, y'all, you agree to that yet? Y'all quiet on me. Gotta check y'all out. Sister Cole, when you get a chance, bring me that thermometer. They not feeling very well. He is worrisome to us, even to see. Ah, imagine that. For his life is not like others, and his ways are strange. Wow. Thank you for acknowledging my strangeness, because Yahweh did say we would be a peculiar treasure unto him. I like that compliment. They say we're strange. He considers us counterfeit. Yes, I do. And avoids our ways as unclean. Yes, they are. He calls the end of the upright happy. Yes, it is. And boasts that Yahweh is his abode. Yes. But Yahweh, we love you. Let us see whether he said what he says is true, and let us test what will happen at his departure. For if the upright man is a son of Yahweh, he will help him and save him from the hands of his adversary. Let us test him with insults and torture. Let us see that we may learn his patience and prove his forbearance. Let us condemn him to a shameful death, for he will be watched over for what he says. So they reasoned, but they went astray, for their wickedness blinded them, and they did not know Yahweh's secrets, or hope for the reward of holiness. I'll let that word pass. Or recognize the prize of blameless souls. For Yahweh created man for immortality. Y'all hear that? Let me say it again. For Yahweh created man for immortality and made him in the image of his own eternity. I can tell y'all ain't get that one. The original man and woman of the earth. If I say what I'm about to say, it's going to anger the other nationalities. And I don't care. Time never was when the black man did not exist. And it never will be. Y'all take your time and think on that one. That was a little heavy. That wrecked your day. I know. That one wrecked your day. Because if you start thinking on it, you know where you're going to end up. See why they hate you so bad now? I taught on that on the air. I laid out the historical origins of racism. That thing got old people here. They missed all that. And it's all right. When I'm long gone down the road somewhere, y'all would make somebody dig it up and say, did you hear what the man said? Anyway. And made him in his own image of his eternity. But through the devil's envy, death came into the world. And those who belong to his party experience it. Hey, you hear that? But the souls of the upright are in the hand of Yahweh, and no torment can reach them. In the eyes of the foolish people, they seem to die, and their decease was thought an affliction, and their departure from us their ruin. But they are at peace. For though in the sight of men they are punished, their hope is full of immortality. And after being disciplined a little, they will be shown great kindness. For Yahweh has tried them and found them worthy of himself. Yisrael, are you sure you're being tried of Yahweh? Are you sure you are worthy of him? Now, don't all answer at once. I'm just saying, we got some work ahead of us. See, the world look at the death of the righteous and they think that's just it. Oh, he out. That's it. I'm glad he gone. They think that's the end of it. It's the end for you because you living unrighteously. He has tested them like gold in a furnace and accepted them like the sacrifice of a whole burnt offering. They will shine out when he visits them and spread like sparks among the stubble. They will judge nations and rule people. Whoa! They will judge nations and rule peoples, and Yahweh will reign over them forever. Y'all ain't ready for this. I know. Y'all ain't ready. To my dear family at home, y'all got to come down here and visit me. You got to come help me. Right now, Yisrael looking at me. I love y'all. Come on. Y'all ain't ready. Say hallelujah. I don't think the people that's viewing up in the United Kingdom heard you. I don't think the brothers and sisters viewing down in Georgia heard you. You all at home, did you hear them? Those who trust in him will understand the truth, and those who are faithful will cling to him in love. For his chosen will find favor and mercy, but the unrighteous will be punished according to their reasonings. For they disregarded what was right and turned away from Yahweh. For man who makes light of wisdom and instruction is wretched, and there is nothing in their hope, and their labors are unprofitable, and what they do is useless. Their wives are silly, their children are bad. There is a curse on their birth. For happy is the barren woman who is undefiled, who has not experienced the sinful union. She will have fruit when Yahweh examines men's souls. And happy is the eunuch who has not transgressed the law of his hand, nor imagined wicked things against Yahweh. For special favor shall be shown him for his faith, and a more delightful share of Yahweh's sanctuary. For good work brings renown, and the root of understanding is unerring. But the children of adulterers will not grow up, and their offspring of an illicit union will disappear. For if they are long lived, they will be thought of no account. Ain't nothing worse than an old, no good soul. You done grew old and worthless. Come on, Yisrael. Yahweh said if the children of adulterers do grow up, they'll be counted worthless. You think Yahweh ain't letting this generation wipe itself out and be wiped out in the streets night and day? You think you can help it by marching and singing and protesting? One man in this city preaching everywhere he go about it. You must turn to Yahweh. You must keep the command. It's not in vain. You can't save everybody. But if Yahweh say preach to everybody, you have to preach. Even if they don't listen, the word has to be declared. I'm going to tell y'all a little something. See, a lot of y'all think I'm tired. You have no idea. The moment you think I'm tired, y'all will give me plenty of strength. You know how to get up and fight. You know how to catch that second wind and keep moving. Then there are other times where you just look, I don't even feel like talking. You had enough in y'all's word to marinate. You don't even have to keep talking about it. I drove with Micaiah the other day. It took almost, 35, 40 minutes to get where you were going? Wasn't a whole lot talking in that truck. I was discerning and picking up things and just driving through the city just looking. Wasn't even nothing to say. We just in that time now where Yahweh's people gonna have to shout out. Can't talk to everybody about Yahweh's word. You barely can talk to one another. Tell the truth. So happy is the eunuch who has not transgressed the law with his hand, nor imagined wicked things against Yahweh. For special favor shall be shown him for his faith, and a more delightful share in Yahweh's sanctuary. For good work brings renown, and the root of understanding is unerring. But the children of adulterers will not grow up, and their offspring of an illicit union will disappear. For they are long lived. They will then be thought of no account. And at the last, their old age will be unhonored. If they die early, they will have no hope or comfort on the day of decision. For the fate of an unrighteous generation is hard, It is better to be childless but virtuous. For the memory of virtue there is immortality. For it is recognized by both Yahweh and men. When it is present, men imitate it, and they long for it when it is gone. It marches in triumph, wearing a wreath forever, victorious in the contest for prizes that are undefiled. But the numerous brood of the unrighteous will be unprofitable. Did not Yahweh say, the more they increased, the more they sinned against me? He was talking about Yisrael. You can't tell us nothing today. Everybody know everything. Everybody want to preach. Everybody want to teach to somebody. That's why a lot of days I shut up and just listen to people. Shut up and let them talk. Let them talk. Sometimes I'm tuning them out. They don't even realize. They think I'm looking and listening like I did the old man up there. Let them talk. Bible talk. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I knew better. Come on, man. Yahweh ain't dealing with everybody. But the children of Israel, we are so hard-headed. We are the ones that's still playing with Yahweh, still bucking and going against him. When Yahshua said to go and get them and bring them to the wedding, look at this here in Matthew 22. He says in verse 10, so the messengers went out to the highways and gathered together as many as they found, both bad and good, and the wedding was furnished with guests. This is the kingdom age. Do you know a lot of men don't even realize that sinners will be in the kingdom? How do you think he's going to teach the Torah to all the nations? Sinners are going to be there because that Gentile multitude has to come out of that great tribulation. They're not coming out of the tribulation righteous. They're coming out of it bruised, battered, scarred, defeated, ashamed because all their gods have failed them. The children of Israel all dressed in white. The world will wonder, how did you come out of this? Because it is Yahweh our Abba. He said he would send us a king, a deliverer, and a great one. And you will take the nations and teach them. Now here Yahshua teaching it to them in a parable because they can't understand when you speak the thing outright. And when the king came in to see the guests, he saw there a man which had not on a wedding garment. This is somebody that was in the kingdom. Remember the scripture says that a son in the kingdom 100 years old should be accursed. They got to be cast out even of the 1,000-year reign of Yahshua. At the end of it, when Yahshua gives the kingdom up to Abba Yahweh, the unrighteous that were there that still didn't turn have to be put out. Where are they going? To the lake, where the beast and the false prophet are. You understand? Don't nobody want to talk about things like that. They trying to get you geared all up there. How you going to Jerusalem now and Yahshua has not come or shown any signs of the coming? There are things in the Torah that have to happen. And Yahshua said that you should not be gone over till the Son of Man be come. And he said unto him, friend, how camest thou hither not having a wedding garment? And he was speechless. Then said the king to his servants, bind him hand and foot, and take him away, and cast him into outer darkness. There should be weeping and gnashing of teeth, for many are called, but few are chosen. Yisrael, are you called? Are you sure? Are you chosen? Then you better make your calling and election sure. See, we play with Yahweh too much. You go back into 1 Peter. Let's look at this real quick. 1 Peter chapter 2. He says here, 2 and 1, wherefore laying aside all malice and all guile and hypocrisies and envyings and all evil speakings, as newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word, that you may grow thereby. See, this is why I was saying earlier, a lot of times the biggest fads going is why Israel keep failing. We make everything a fad. The lost books, everybody into it for a set period of time, but yet ain't mastered the 66 that were right there in your presence. You have to master it. Yahweh knew what he was doing when he left that there for you to abide by. How is it? This is a hell of a mystery. How is it that 60, 70 years ago, everybody was in the church? Whether the church knew of Yahweh or not, everybody was in the church. And there was nobody nodding on the street corner. There was nobody raping children in record numbers. There were no 15, 20 shootings a day. There wasn't none of these things that's going on. There was no mass disrespect for your elders. Now, everybody is awakened. Everybody is conscious. Everybody is hip. And look at everything that's happening. How have you gotten so far away from the scriptures, so self-righteous, and at the bottom of everything? You must vote. Got to get that in there, because that's what they keep telling you. You must vote. That's what the biggest argument with me now is about. I'm telling the people voting is over. Everybody fighting and arguing about voting. I took them back 150 years and showed you a pattern. You come out of slavery. They gave you the right to vote. They did the Reconstruction period. They put black men and women, congressmen, senators, all this other stuff. You had more then than you have now. The South didn't like it. They reconfigured everything. People up north hated you. People down south hated you. So they restructured everything. They devised a new system called the Jim Crow laws. People were to go vote. They had to take tests to learn how to vote. Silly tests. How many bubbles are in a bar of soap? So, okay, well, wait a minute. I got a bat in the trunk. I got a question for you. How many stars do you see? Lump, 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 lump. Anyway. Those were the type of things that were done to you to take away the effect of you making decisions for yourselves. Something wants perpetual slaves out of the children of Israel. And the children of Israel got leaders now who don't know who they are, but they still pushing the system on you. Yah says, come out of her. Trust in Yahweh. Trust and believe. Here comes the 1920s. Here comes the Ludlow massacre. Here comes the shootings and all the other stuff. The corporations were the most violent and bloody. They were worse than organized crime. They were worse than the gangs, worse than Al Capone, killing people who needed wages, men who had to take their wives and children to work with them. They shot all up in the caves at Ludlow, murdered the people. The corporations did it. They took your rights, labors, and all this stuff from them. Here comes World War I and II. They hated you, but they made you get in there and go over there and help us fight them people. And when you came back, you couldn't even sit down and eat a hamburger in peace. They murdered men returning from the war in their uniform, having fought for the damn country. And you tell them go vote. After World War II, here comes Roosevelt. Here comes the New Deal. All this other stuff. The New Deal was the same old deal. Deceitfulness, wickedness, unrighteousness. That pushed you on up into the 60s. Here come the civil rights marches and the movement and the gays and everything were right there trying to get it off the ground over 60 years ago. Oh, y'all didn't know that, huh? Here you are now in the 21st century. They did to you the same thing they did to the children of Israel. They repopulated the cities with foreigners. They moved you out, moved others in. Send the scriptures. So the Wall Street Journal reported the other day that the Hispanic community has come into America, and inside of the last 10 years, they are 63% of the American home buyers. And the black community right here, 400 years, your home ownership has been reduced to its lowest number in years. How did somebody surpass you? And you at the bottom of everything and been voting since they gave you the right to do so after cutting you loose from slavery. What has voting got you? If you're so smart and you know anything about voting, then you know the one that casts the only ballot that matters most. You will not obey him. If you are his elect, you didn't vote. He voted for you. This is sad. Even the baby know better than that. This is sad. And we keep right on going. 21st century. Do not understand. We need to turn to Yahweh. We have to cut aside all malice and envy. If we have tasted the word of Yahweh to see, then we have to come unto him, because you are a lively stone, a spiritual house, a Kodesh priesthood, to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to Yahweh by Yahshua. How difficult is that? People try to make the preacher's job so difficult because they try to see so deep into the message, try to critique what the man of Yahweh is saying. How can you critique what a man of Yahweh is saying and he ain't giving you nothing to say? See, most people, he only giving them something to say on the Shabbat. They don't even know what to say or to do. Well, they can see when the preacher wrong. It's amazing how Yisrael, in the 21st, Numbers 14, in the 21st century, the same spirit still chasing us down. Same spirit. Listen to this. Numbers 14. And all the congregation lifted up their voice and cried, and the people wept that night. And all, listen, and all the children of Israel murmured against Moshe and against Aaron. See us run our mouth? Oh man, he made me sick. There he go with that again. He gonna lead us out here. Now he gonna leave us in the woods. In the wilderness, now we gotta die. Ain't no 7-Eleven, ain't no Walmart. I can't get no shoes. Man, I'm trying to get a soda. I need a Pepsi, or I'm gonna go off. That's us. And the whole congregation said unto them, would Yahweh that we had died in the land of Egypt, or would Yahweh that we had died in this wilderness. There's something to say in it. I wish we'd have died in Egypt. And wherefore hath Yahweh brought us unto this land to fall by the sword, that our wives and our children should be prey. Well, now you here in America, and your wives and children are prey, and you won't even defend them. It's a damn shame. Were it not better for us to return into Egypt? There they go. And they said one to another, let's make a captain, and let's return into Egypt. Then Moshe and Aaron fell upon their faces before all the assembly of the congregation of the children of Israel. And Yahushua the son of Nun and Caleb the son of Jephunneh, which were with them, searched the land, rent their clothes. And they spake unto all the company of Israel, saying, the land which we passed through to search it is an exceeding good land. If Yahweh delight in us, then he will bring us into this land and give it unto us, a land which floweth with milk and honey. Only rebel not against Yahweh, neither fear ye the people of the land, for they are bread for us. Their defense is departed from them, and Yahweh is with us. Fear them not. People are still scared to this day. They are afraid of people. They are afraid of the elected officials. See, our people, they think we here at Little House of Israel, they think we run a little Department of Social Services or something. They think we can do everything for them. Our duty is to teach you the way. And the Torah of Yahweh, you have to get up and do it. You cannot sit around and pray, oh, Yahweh, 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 I need a job, Yahweh, I need a house, I need this, I need that. You pray, you ask for those things, you trust him, you wait on. He will lead you to the things that you need. He's not coming down and build the house for you. You're not going to be sitting out in the woods somewhere and say, did you see that tree? That tree just split itself in half and it made a bunch of 2x4. Man, you got to see what it did. Wait a minute, look. It just sat the wall out. It just framed itself out. Wow, Yahweh's building me a house. You think you're going to sit still like that and it happened that way? We got idiots running around talking about, ain't no way in the world that man been preaching no 120 years and take that long to build the ark. So I said, well, brother, what you think that Lowe's or something was right up the street and he kept running up the street buying 2x12s and pasting them together? Is that what you say? So it couldn't have taken him that long because he had to cut each tree down himself? He had to shim it. He had to sure it up. He had to do everything Yahweh guided him to do. He had to seal it. You think the man was running around the Home Depot somewhere? Oh, I broke my hammer. Now I need... What are you? Are you out of your mind? Are you just that dumb and stupid? And the brother looked at me dumbfounded because he hadn't thought of it that way. That's stupid. Now let's deal with the miraculous aspect of it. Even if Yahweh made the man labor, guess what? That was the first law from the fall of man. By the sweat of your brow. So the man of Yahweh was still determined to get it done, no matter how hard it was. It took him 120 years. I've been on the air preaching for 1/10 of that time. And I'm tired of the people. I'm wore out. Here's a man of Yahweh did it for 120 years. Come on, man. I figure I better shut my mouth and press on till Yahweh say go in another direction. But we keep doubting him, keep provoking him, keep playing with him. That's the children of Israel's MO. We're always doubting y'all. We're always playing. That's us. You know, tell me it ain't us. I dare you say it ain't the children of Israel. That pattern fits us. We're always playing all the time, man. Come on, man. Always just everything we do. Oh, I ain't gonna do that. Oh, I'm gonna go do this, and I'm gonna do this, that, and the other. Wait a minute. Let me prove what I just said, cause I know I'll be done got accused of something before it's all over with. Let's bust the accusation down right now. Look, turn with me real quick. Let's go to the book of Exodus, chapter 32. And the people saw that Moshe delayed to come down out of the mount. The people gathered themselves together unto Aaron and said unto him, Up, make us gods, which shall go before us. As for this Moshe, the man that brought us up out the land of Egypt, we know not what has become of him. And Aaron said unto them, Break off the earrings, the golden earrings in the ears of your wives and your sons and your daughters, and bring them to me. And all the people broke off the golden earrings which were in their ears and brought them unto Aaron. Now stop for a minute. The gold was in your ears. You came out of Egypt, it came out with you. How was it God if it was coming behind you? Your ears are behind you, right? They're beside your face, but they're behind you, technically speaking, because your face goes first. Unless you just got an old pie face. That's a different story. Sorry about that. Just the way it is. It came out like that. Anyway. And he received them at their hand and fashioned it with graving tool. And he made a molten calf. And they said, These be thy gods, O Yisrael, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. Funny that they wasn't shaped like a calf when they came up out of Egypt in your ears now. And you had to put them all together to make one God. Isn't that amazing? And when Aaron saw it, he built an altar before it. And Aaron made proclamation and said, Tomorrow is a feast to Yahweh. Now that's us. I always want to eat. Cooking out. Grilling. Call it whatever you want. And they rose up early in the morning. Look, got up early now. And offered burnt offerings and brought peace offerings. And the people sat down to eat and to drink. And rose up to play. See, that's us. Ain't that us? Always playing all the time. Always playing. We don't like to hear the bad stuff that we did. But it's the bad stuff that we have done that could keep us out of Yahweh's kingdom. You don't want to keep dwelling on the bad stuff. See, you don't want to sound like you hate nobody. But you also want to let people know you're on to them. You hear me? Don't be no... See, this is what you got to say to the world. I'm going to throw this out there and keep it moving. I say to the world, don't be no coward now and hide behind interracial marriage. Just come to Yahweh. However you are. He made us all. Come to you. No, don't come to me now and try to hide in me. Just come to Yahweh. Now everybody want to cling. Oh, why is it always the sex thing? I'm gonna leave that point alone. That'll get responses on the channel and everything else later. I'm just bringing it up because see, 100 years ago, you going up a tree if you look the wrong way. Emmett Till. See, sometimes even in the families of Yisrael, misery seems to follow us, and blessings of the earth seem to follow our enemies. Emmett Till's mother lost her son because a white woman said he whistled at her, got fresh with her, and her husband and her brother-in-law went looking for him in the night. Bust in the door of the family that he was staying at, just bust up in their house, wasn't even the police, just bust up in the house, made them bring the boy out, took the boy, beat and shot the boy to death, just dismembered his face, and did not go to jail. Here we are now, 60 some odd years later, however long it was. The woman admits, I lied. And ain't did a day in jail. Bill Cosby done. Just want you all to understand. But the woman said, I lied. Pain and suffering seems to follow us as a people, just like Yahweh's word said, you should be downtrodden and oppressed always. So now this mother bore that pain to her grave. In her final years, she was actually forced to relive it because a European American author went to her to get her to tell her story. And they wrote that book about Emmett Till. Before she could spend any of the money from the proceeds of the book, she died. See how pain and sorrow tends to follow us? Even in the midst of all that, though we suffer, some of us, Yahweh is going to bring us back from that grave with such great joy, with such righteousness before Him, that we will have learned our lessons, even if it has to follow us to the grave. As sad as it may be, Yahweh allows things like this to happen because we still do not learn. This is why some of this stuff happens to us sometimes. We do not learn. We stay in the same old sad and tired condition sometimes because we will not seek Yahweh. Yahweh is the original creator of Facebook. Don't dispute me. He's the original creator of Facebook. Shut your mouth. Seek his face and read his book. You'll do well. They'll get that around 4:30. Said L. Johnson, man, that was clever. Y'all sure is greater. See, we don't seek Yahweh. Man, I remember I was young in the assembly one time and I didn't want to read. I wanted to sleep. And man, my father jacked me up in front of everybody and let me have the business. And I've been reading the scriptures ever since. I thank Yahweh for that whooping. My sister used to tease me about that. She said, yeah, boy, you got straight then. Yeah, I bet. The old man didn't play. And I told Yahweh for having a father that didn't play. Because it was to the salvation of my soul. That's why I tell you all today, now ain't no time to get soft on the word of Yahweh. Now ain't no time to keep on waiting and arguing and debating and challenging people that don't believe Yahweh's word. Look at what we did. Rose up to play. Yahweh said unto Moshe, go, get you down. For the people which you brought out of the land of Egypt have corrupted themselves. They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them. They have made them a molten calf and worshipped it, and have sacrificed thereunto, and said, these be your gods, O Yisrael, which have brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. And Yahweh said unto Moshe, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people. Now therefore, let me alone, that my wrath may wax hot against them, that I may consume them, and I will make of thee a great nation. Opportunity here. Opportunity arises. And Moshe besought Yahweh's Elohim and said, Yahweh, why doth thy wrath wax hot against thy people, which thou hast brought forth out of the land of Egypt with great power and with a mighty hand? For what cause should the Egyptians speak and say, for mischief did he bring them out, to slay them in the mountains and to consume them from the face of the earth? Turn from thy fierce wrath and repent of this evil against thy people. Remember Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yisrael thy servants, to whom thou swearest by thine own self, and said unto them, I will multiply your seed as the stars of heaven. And all this land that I have spoken of will I give unto your seed, that they shall inherit it forever. And Yahweh went away of the evil which he thought to do unto his people. Had Moses been selfish, he'd have took that deal. He'd have took that deal. That is love. You can tell Israel don't love not messengers today, because one thing I will say about a messenger of Yahweh, his words will validate Yahweh's word by showing the signs of itself all throughout the earth. A man that's sent by Yahweh to preach his word, watch what he's saying and watch it manifest itself in the world. Not some old grand mysterious stuff that only he understands. That's not Yahweh's will. His duty is to impart the wisdom and the understanding of Yahweh upon his people. Now, if you don't grab hold of it and take delight in it, trust me on one issue, you won't. Did you hear me? If you don't grab hold of the word and take delight in it, then you just won't. That's on you. You can't sit before Yahweh forever and be bluffing and shucking and jiving and not have to give an account of it. This ain't the church. The church don't care what you do. You can show up and be on the books for long. Here's what the church do. After a while, they realize they ain't got no tithing envelope from you. Then you'll get that call. Now, the modern churches, according to what I've read and studied, the modern churches will send you a bill. Did y'all hear that? Don't show up for a couple months and don't tithe. The modern churches send you a bill. That's sad. See, you can't, people get mad at me. I can't talk to everybody. If you look at the channel, no longer than it's been up, it's a few people on there, subscribers. Ain't no way in the world I can talk to everybody. Sometimes I think about one, I want to call them or what have you. I remember their name in prayer before you. You can't talk to everybody. You can't remember every call. You can't always take all the calls. You can't be everything for everybody. No wonder Moshe was burned out. People think you forgot them because you haven't heard from them. Have you made yourselves available? That's why I tell you all here all the time, be kindly affectionate one towards another. What the pastor ain't got, one of the brothers might have. What one brother ain't got, another sister may got. You're in communion with one another. Keep each other in prayer before Yahweh. When you get rebuked and chastised for having so much on your plate, thank Yahweh that he raised somebody up somewhere that cares. Every messenger of Yah might not be on a YouTube channel. That don't mean they ain't laboring. I know men in Yisrael that have come to the knowledge of the truth and have realized Christianity and all that is the wrong way and have humbled themselves before Yahweh to take the time to learn, to be renewed in the faith in Yahweh. That's so honorable. I talk with brothers like that. I got a letter from a brother the other day that was talking about that. In his older years, having turned to Yahweh, the letter made me cry. Come on, got a mother that lost a job and sent offering to help us keep a broadcast on the air. When we talk about spotting and sending something to help her, that's love. Somebody willing to extend themselves to you. And all Israel can do is continue to just berate and rebuke the messengers. I don't cry for me because you rebuke me. I cry because I know you don't know no better. I cry for you because I know you don't know Yahweh. I cry for you because I know you have the spirit of Korah. Go to number 16. This is a sad story in Yisrael. This is so sad. The brother told me Yahweh sent me. He didn't send you. And I'm like, brother, if Yahweh sent you, why are you beefing with me? Go preach. Your psychological maker compels you to fixate on me. Brother, Yahshua is greater. Now Korah, the son of Ishar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, and Dathan, and Abiram, the sons of Eliab and On, the sons of Peleth, the sons of Reuben, took men. And they rose up before Moshe with certain of the children of Israel, 250 princes of the assembly, famous in the congregation, men of renown. And they gathered themselves together against Moshe and against Aaron and said unto them, you take too much upon you, seeing all the congregation are Kodesh, every one of them, and Yahweh is among them. Wherefore then you lift yourselves up above the congregation of Yahweh. You see how sick this is? They led the people out. Where was Korah? I never read where Korah went with Moshe when he was talking to Pharaoh. I never read a single verse where him and the 250 princes stood there. And when Moshe heard it, he fell upon his face. And he spoke unto Korah and unto all his company, saying, even tomorrow Yahweh will show who are his and who is Kodesh, and will cause him to come near unto him, even him who have chosen. He will cause to come near unto him. This do, take ye census, Korah and all his company, and put fire therein, and put incense in them before Yahweh tomorrow. And it will be that a man whom Yahweh doth choose, he should be Kodesh. You take too much upon you, you sons of Levi. See how he let them know? No, I ain't taking too much authority upon me. You taking too much. You're out of order. And Moshe said unto Korah, Hear, I pray you, ye sons of Levi. Seemeth it but a small thing unto you that Yahweh Elohim of Israel have separated you from the congregation of Israel to bring you near to himself to do service? In other words, he brought you to himself to serve him. You think that's a small thing? You want a bigger job? And to stand before the congregation to minister unto them? And he had brought thee near to him, and all thy brethren, the sons of Levi, with thee. And seek ye the priesthood also? For which cause both thou and all thy company are gathered together against Yahweh. And what is Aaron that you murmur against him? And Moshe sent to call Dathan and Abiram and the sons of Eliab, which said, We will not come out. Isn't that interesting? Your man went out there, run his mouth, you with him, you backed him up. Moshe, hey, tell him I said, come on up here. Nah, I ain't coming up there. Now they was tough. I ain't coming up there, but yet they were scared. Sort of like Patrick Henderson here in Baltimore did me. Call me out. Talk tough to me. Then when I responded, then you get quiet. And like I said, let that be the last time you keep on calling my name over them airwaves. I don't take too kindly to no chump, no homosexual, a man that wants to be stuck behind another man, or a man stuck behind him. I don't take too kindly to you challenging me. You mutt. Not playing with these people. Yahweh's word must go forward. And anything get in the way that I ask Yahweh, slay them. Don't have mercy. Slay the bastards. Because they are obstructing justice. Think about what I said. You could turn this whole city around if you stood up and told these young men, you have to do better than what you're doing. You are better than this. So you don't put no pressure on them. Fathers don't say nothing to their little boys in this age now. Little boys get away with everything and they grow up to be rough old men. You got to teach them. You got to get them while they're young. You see them trees out front? See how young them trees are? Go out there and pull on it. Watch to see if you can't bend it. You can bend that tree a little bit while. Come on back in 40 years when that thing got a little girth on it and it then got wide. See if you bend it then. Well, what make you think you ain't going to teach a child from birth to their first 6 years on the planet? Time they get 17, 18, you can't do nothing with them. They're out of hand because now whatever their patterns of behavior are, that's what they are. Young men today shooting and killing like ain't no tomorrow. I read an article to the other day. I sorry I had to put you to that test. But I read a vicious news article. I read it out loud because I knew her reaction would be the reaction that anybody would give. But I just needed to see it for myself. A 65-year-old father tried to murder his daughter when she was 7 months old here in Baltimore by throwing her through a glass window because he was angry with the mother. A few years later on down the road, he shot and killed his son. Just got a murderous spirit. The woman's husband said that she told him, if I ever die, it'd be at the hands of my father. And as I read the article to my wife, this vicious bastard took his daughter, was raping her, did whatever he wanted to do. For some reason or another, she was living with her daddy in the last days of her life. And at 43, he murdered her. When they found the body, they just found the upper torso. She was only identified because they shot pictures of her tattoos and put them out so that the family could identify her. Because they could not find her head, her arms, or her lower legs. They went to this man's house and they found several guns and some blood samples there that they took. And then later they came back and charged him with her murder. He claims he didn't do it. But they say all the evidence points to him having murdered her. The entire family said in the article that they were so afraid of him that they couldn't do anything. But they always knew that he would kill him. That's the type of world we live in now. People don't mind killing and people don't mind dying because the devil has the whole world. The children of Israel have no hope outside of Yahweh. This is why the messengers of Yah, like a good football coach, they got to push you. They got to prod you. They got to put a little pressure on you. You all don't like the pressure, but when a team come back and they win the championship, they won the championship because the coach put a little pressure on them. He made them do better. What was in them, he brought it out of them. So a messenger of Yah ain't got time to play with the congregation. You have to push them into the kingdom of Yahweh. You have to make them march forward. Otherwise, they'll lay down on you. People don't appreciate that today. I love little children. I'll tell you all right now, but you all know that there's a limitation to what I do and don't do. I don't play that. I like little Catholic priest. They got the babies all over them, all up under their robe. I don't play that. I don't deal with nobody's children without their parents being present. I love Yahweh's little people, especially little children. They are a delight. You have to teach them. You got to tell them. All right, now get over there and sit down. I watched little young man last week. He was running and playing. I said, come here, man. Come here. Sit down. Sit down beside me. You sit right here. Don't move. And when I was a little boy, I sat just like you. My little feet couldn't touch the floor. And some of the elders who did the same thing, he sat right there for over 2 hours, didn't he, Dad? He sat right there like a little man in a chair. That's how you teach your little son, your daughter. That's how you teach them. You bring them up right. Teach them because this is so severe. This is a serious way of life. I just want you all to know and understand. You got to teach them while they're young. You got to take command of them because there's so much out here. I was driving through the streets of the city the other day and watched them with the little summer camp, the little children. They were setting up for Artscape here in Baltimore. Man, I started weeping at the light. You know what I saw? They had all the little children, school teachers, and the little children, everybody. Everybody had on little rainbow sweatshirts. Now what that mean? See, that's how they do your children. Taking the LGBT, the alphabet gang. They're taking over. They are cramming that stuff down everybody's throat. Why is it all of a sudden we can't speak against that? But young brothers can shoot, kill, and make the evening news, and you always got these words. Monster, demons, killers. You always got all these profound adjectives to describe them, but these men can take a child and do whatever they want to do with them and going to promote their lifestyle, which is against nature, which is against Yahweh. They can push and promote it and don't want you to say nothing to them. Parents, you got to take pride in your children. And when I say pride, I don't mean proud and arrogance in it. Children are a gift from Yahweh. I work with a company. They gave me something one year. They gave me a gift. We went and looked the gift up online. Gave me a nice watch. Watch was worth about $4,500. If you're going to give me a gift, you could have gave me the cash. But still, I know what I'd have did with the cash. I'd have put the cash in Yahweh's box. I'd have did something for Yahweh's people. But nevertheless, a nice watch. And because it's a gift and it was from the company, now it has somewhat of a sentimental value to me because they gave me that. Anybody that know me know I don't like no super duper expensive stuff. I'm a plain man. My cheap clothes, I shop where everybody else shop at. I ain't got had nothing super special and fancy. In fact, I haven't worn a watch in over 2 years because you put it on your arm, you know it's worth a little something. No, I'm not a flashy person. Our wealth is in Yahweh. I was reading just the other day how the beauty of the city of Jezreel, which in the definitive of it, I ain't even gonna get into this. I have to teach this another day. How the definition of it all means when Yahweh gets ready to replace it, then he'll put Yisrael's wealth back. Right now, Yisrael's lost all their material wealth and possession in the world. Everybody else got it. And Brother Eric says something so profound, it was so funny. Every time I look at the wealthy and read articles on the rich, I bust out laughing now because of you, Brother Eric. Because like you said, it's so true. They think they did something great. You took all the world's wealth, all the riches. All you did was move it from one location on the earth to another. You took it. You gathered it all up. And when you die, it still stays above the ground. You go under. What an irony. You go under. Right where you all dug it up from. You go under and it stays above ground now. Gold, stay right here. Transfer a hand, go to somebody else. They sit back, covered it, worship it. Yahweh made the gold. He made the silver. He made the diamonds. See, some of this stuff is a stupid hustle. What's the difference between a diamond and a broken Coca-Cola bottle? You can't tell. Glass is glass, right? See, sometimes people take stuff that ain't worth nothing and say, hey, this is worth this. And everybody, I must have it. How you know the diamond you got ain't glass? They tell this is 24 karat. How do you know? What are you rating it on? How do I know it is what you saying it is? Piece of paper. It weighs 1 gram. Whether it's $1 or $100, it weighs 1 gram. It's a piece of paper. You hear me? And people ascribe value to it. I get a woman a $20 bill. She took the $20 bill, held it up to the light. You know she was looking for the strip. So she give me my change back. So now I'm messing with the woman. So I take a $1 bill. Pop, pop, pop. I held it up to the light. Now that offended her. I thought it was funny myself. Because we all know ain't no strip in the $1 bill. I just looked there, held it up to the light, just to mess with her to see what her reaction gonna be. She looked at me and I looked at her. So I said, you never know nowadays, and shoved it in my pocket. What's my point? Yisrael, we're gonna have to hold ourselves up to Yahshua's light to see whether or not we're counterfeit. We have to stop playing with Yahweh. We have to stop doubting Him and provoking Him. See how Yisrael ate and rose up to play? Or in some instances, rise up to fight. That's what Korah did. They rose up. Listen to this. Let's jump down a little bit. Verse 14. He says, moreover, thou hast not brought us into a land that floweth with milk and honey, or given us inheritance of fields and vineyards. Wilt thou put out the eyes of these men? We will not come out. They thought Moses was going to do something to them. No, it was all right when y'all was rebelling against him, and he was meek and humble and was like a little chump to y'all. It was all right. Now you scared, think he going to put your eyes out. And Moshe was very rough and said unto Yahweh, respect not thou their offering. I have not taken one ass from them, neither have I hurt them. For the people at home that are sensitive ears, I didn't curse. It's in the book. ASS. Learn what profanity is and or is not. Anyway, and Moshe said unto Korah, be thou and all thy company before Yahweh, thou and they and Aaron tomorrow. And take every man his censer and bring incense in them. And bring ye before Yahweh every man his censer, 250 censers, and thou and Aaron, each of you his censer. And they took every man his censer and put fire in them and laid incense thereon and stood in the door of the tabernacle of the congregation with Moshe and Aaron. And Korah gathered all the congregation against them unto the door of the tabernacle. And the glory of Yahweh appeared unto all the congregation. And Yahweh spoke unto Moshe and unto Aaron, saying, separate yourselves from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment. And they fell upon their faces and said, O Yahweh, Elohim of spirits of all flesh, shall one man sin, and wilt thou be wroth with all the congregation? And Yahweh spoke unto Moshe, saying, speak unto the congregation, saying, get you up from about the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. And Moshe rose up and went unto Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed him. And he spoke unto the congregation, saying, depart, I pray you, from the tents of these wicked men, and touch nothing of theirs, lest ye be consumed in all their sin. So they gat up from the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan and Abiram, on every side. And Dathan and Abiram came out and stood in the door of their tents, and their wives and their sons and their little ones. And Moshe said, hereby you should know that Yahweh have sent me to do all the works, for I have not done them of mine own mind. If these men die the common death of all men, or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, then Yahweh have not sent me. But Yahweh make a new thing, and the earth open up her mouth and swallow them up, and all that appertain unto them, and they go down quickly into the pit. Then you shall understand that these men have provoked Yahweh. What did I say we keep doing? Doubting, provoking, and playing with Yahweh. And it came to pass, as he had made an end of speaking all these words, that the ground clave asunder that was under them. And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up and their houses, and all the men that appertained unto Korah and all their goods. They and all that appertained unto them went down alive into the pit. And the earth closed up upon them, and they perished from among the congregation. And all Israel that were round about them fled at the cry of them. For they said, lest the earth swallow us up also. There came out a fire from Yahweh and consumed the 250 men that offered incense. See how it is? Join forces with the enemies against Yahweh's people, you go down with them. See, those mutinies and things that happen in the assemblies of Yahweh, that type of stuff should not be happening. Let me show you all something. Just because they were striving at one time and made prayer before Yahweh, look what Yahweh still allowed to happen. And Yahweh spoke unto Moshe, saying, speak unto Eleazar the son of Aaron, that he take up the censers out of the burning, and scatter thou their fire yonder, for they are hallowed. You see that? Even after he had to destroy them, based upon the work that they had done previously, he did not forget the works. He said those things are hallowed. Tell me Yahweh ain't forgiving? And we as Israel keep right on playing with him, thinking we got credit card and we can run up a bill of sin. We need to stop thinking like that. The censers of these sinners against their own souls, let them make them broad plates for coverings of the altar. For they offered them before Yahweh, therefore they are hallowed, and they should be a sign unto the children of Israel. And Eleazar the priest took the brazen censers wherewith that they were burnt, and had offered, and they made broad plates for a covering of the altar, to be a memorial unto the children of Israel, that no stranger which is not of the seed of Aaron come near to offer incense before Yahweh, that he be not as Korah and as his company, as Yahweh said to him by the hand of Moshe. See how it went down? The next day, Israel still didn't learn. I ain't going into it. You look at that 41st verse. The next day, Israel still didn't learn. Came right back again, running their mouths. We run our mouths against Yahweh when we really just don't know him. That's all that is. The children of Israel, they don't know this way of life. This is the most serious thing going in all the universe. This is it. This is the most serious thing going in all the universe. Preaching. Everybody ain't sent and called to preach. Everybody handling the Bible ain't sent. The devil handled the Bible. He knows the word. Is he living by it? Come on, y'all. We don't pay attention to things. I was looking at a little video clip of a murderer, the Iceman. This man murdered well over 200 people. Sit down and do an interview and just talk to the woman about how he killed different people. And don't feel nothing. One man was praying and crying and begging and pleading. He told the man, I'll give you 30 minutes. If you believe in God like that, I'll give him 30 minutes to come down here and save his soul. If he don't show up at the end of 30 minutes, you're going to die. And the man begged and pleaded and cried for 30 whole minutes. At the end of it all, he killed him and didn't think twice about it. He said to the woman in the interview, if there was anybody that I shouldn't have killed, it was him. Doesn't much matter. You killed all those people with no remorse. And yet the praying man, Yahweh didn't answer his prayer. That didn't mean Yahweh wasn't present. See, the children of Israel, we don't understand the world we live in. That's why today I am so hurt with us. We keep right on trying to justify their system. There is no justification for it. We are in captivity because we transgress Yahweh's Torah. And as disciplined ones of Yahshua, we should learn how to live our lives righteously, but expect persecution because Yahshua went through it. We are no better. Let's go to the book of Matthew chapter 10. We have to learn to expect persecution. You know better. Let's look at this, Matthew 10:16. I want you to hear this. Yahshua says, behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. You ain't got to go out and start fights. You don't have to do that. But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogue. Now, why did he use the word synagogues? Why? What's the connection there? What do the people in the synagogues have to do with rebellion against Yahweh? See, Hebrews go around there and worship with Jews in the synagogue, then come back to the house of Yahweh and got all kind of hatred to Yahweh and to Yahweh's people. I remember dear sister demanded an apology from me right there because I said what the word says. You have not the Son, you have not the Father. I ain't gonna never back up off of y'all's word and apologize to you for that. It's y'all's word. Question. If people worship Yahweh, but won't accept Yahshua, and the scripture says that there is a man coming, claiming that he is Yahweh. If you don't believe in Yahshua and you don't accept Yahshua, then isn't the window of opportunity open for you to receive that man when he comes? See, I don't know if you all are seeing the world the way you should see the world. Watch this. Here in Baltimore, little Tank Gravante, whatever little young boxing champ is, he came home and they had a celebration or something for him up at Mondawmin Mall. They said people was up there by the thousand. That's their champion. Muhammad Ali won, people came out to see him. Michael Jordan won the basketball championship. Chicago Bulls, people flooded the streets. That's their man, right? It's been several thousand years in the making. Do you honestly think the European world ain't waiting for their man to come and champion their cause? Are you not wondering why all of your men have to die or go down violently or be in prison or be defamed beyond recognition? No matter what you do, even in the grave, they got to dig up dirt on you and tarnish you again. You all ain't paying attention. Anti-Messiah gonna come, whether people like it or not. But Yahshua gave you some signs, and you need to be looking at these signs. He said, there you shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. But when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what you shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what you shall speak. For it is not ye that speak, but it is the Ruach of your Abba which speaketh in you. See how some Hebrews just speak so rash and out of turn? Can't possibly be Yahweh in you when you start speaking against him and against his word. Start speaking on issues you really don't know nothing about, but just talking because you're a Hebrew. Sometimes Hebrews, you do well to get command of all that hell that's in you and shut it up. Shut the hell up. Be quiet. Because we got to serve Yahweh. We got to make certain that we make it in. We can't just talk our way in. We got to be living this thing. Come on, let's walk. And the brother shall deliver a brother to death, and the father the child. And the children shall rise up against their parents and cause them to be put to death. How? How you think that's going to go down? And you shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. But he that endureth to the end shall be saved. You're going to be hated by everybody because of his name's sake? They don't like the name Yahshua. There's power in that name. No power in Jesus. Gee, you never notice on the news when stuff happens and they have to interview the Hispanic people? How's all the little Hispanic men named Jesus? I watched 3 different news reports, and they went and got these little man interviews. Little man named Jesus something something. They caught them people coming in on some trucks over the seas or whatever it was, had them in the back of the truck, and Jesus Martinez or whatever. I'm like, let me get up off of that point. Yeah, anyway. But when they persecute you in this city, flee ye into another. For truly, look, truly, I say unto you, you shall not have gone over the cities of Yisrael till Son of Man be come. Did y'all get that? You can't go over till he come. You can't go set up the kingdom before the king. How we gonna go over there this year? The market beast ain't come up yet. Battle of Armageddon has not been fought yet. How we gonna go ahead of him? I ain't arguing with nobody on it. I'm gonna be bold and say this. Yahweh ain't dealing with you. I'm gonna be bold on that one. Yahweh ain't dealing with you. You can read all the books you want to read. You better let the Holy Spirit do the talking. The disciple is not above his teacher, nor the servant above his leader. It is enough for the disciple that he be as his teacher, and the servant as his overseer. If they have called the master of the house Beelzebub, how much more shall they call them of his household? We better prepare ourselves for an ordeal. See, people around trying to see a lot of Hebrews, they don't see no way out. The brothers are all talking about we can't fight them with guns and bombs and bullets and this, that, and the other. Okay, I give you that point. But Yahweh has all power. Why do you stop doubting him when you get to the word Almighty? To understand how the Almighty works, he can't prove to himself, prove to you that he himself is the Almighty if he can't work outside the confines of all power that he himself has established. Did y'all hear that? How can he prove he's the Almighty if he's limited to fighting within the confines of the power and might that he ascribed to the universe? He has to be able to be the Almighty. He has to be able to work outside the confines of all things. Otherwise, the word Almighty has a false definition. And we ain't going with that. He has all power. And he gave it to Yahshua. We sit around scared to say something. The world is already at odds with Yahweh and has been that way since the fall of man. We try to act like that ain't what it is. Man, it's stuck in your head. Pardon me for a minute. You look at Hosea 4:1, Yahweh says he has a controversy with the inhabitants of the land. But yet the world, they claim they got a controversy with Yahweh. How you going to iron out your controversy with him? You ain't got all power. You don't live forever. He does. And even when he grants us all the power to live forever, you still will never have power to overtake him. Nobody's going to get all power and then all of a sudden come in their mind, you know, but I got to overtake Yahweh. I can run this better than him. See, that's the mind of Shaitan. Why do you think he understands psychology so well and mental health, illness, and all this? Why do you think he understands it so well? Because he's the father of it. Yahweh made him that he ain't in his right mind, but yet he's in enough of it to know and understand everything in this world that he touched thinking like him. He understands why they thinking the way they thinking. I'm an evil dude. That's my child. Hey, that father like son. People don't understand it. How do they know all in the mind and all this stuff that's going on? How did they get this knowledge? Now they want to run these little tubes all in the mind and challenge your thinking and control you because you can't control that which Yahweh gave free will. And even having given man free will, he didn't give man freedom of immortality until he grants it. People say they know Yahweh. They don't know Yahweh. So you must keep something in mind, Yisrael. Something real simple. Real change can't come without conflict. Think about it. Real change. If your house is dusty and you're going to change it, look, the dust is at peace under the sofa. Once you move the sofa and start sweeping the dust out, the dust was at peace. Now you have disturbed it. Change is coming because now you're cleaning it, right? Well, now the earth has to be changed. Look at this. Same chapter, John 10:34. Look at this. He says, think not that I am come to send peace on the earth. I'm not come to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. If you're not going to keep his commandments, you're going to be at each other like that. There will be peace in Yahweh's house, peace in Yahweh's kingdom. But if you're not going to obey, these spirits here are going to be on everybody. That's what makes a father want to kill his own children. You have no love for them. When you don't love Yahweh, that's all that's in you. And a man's foe should be there of his own household. This is why men must order their household according to the Torah of Yahweh. And in this era of time right now, since it don't come overnight, a man got to be swift and charismatic enough to order it over the process of time, just as Yahshua has to order Yahweh's house over a process of time. You hear that? The baby in there. Listen, Yisrael doesn't really fully believe Yahweh. We read these words in the book, but we ain't living it. If we lived it like we ought to, we'd be just like an ice skater or synchronized swimming. Everything would be in order. And wherever y'all's people are, it's tight. I'm telling you the honest to goodness truth. It's tight. Just a few here and there. That's why a lot of times I say, man, after a while, I get tired of talking. Because now I know you know now. And you don't need to keep asking a bunch of questions about it. I know you know. Apply it. Got a man, been working with the man 15 years. Still got to call me and ask me questions. Brother said the other day, he said, man, he just ain't cut out for it. I said, yeah, I know. But I always just stay humble in my dealings with him. I stay humble. Some people have so much arrogance that their pride won't allow them to humble themselves, to learn. Their pride. I see it even in Yisrael. People challenge different things. You say, you show them right there in the script. You say, well, no. Let's go back in the book. Let me show you a pattern. This is the way it's done. They still can't accept it because you are saying it. They can't hear it because it's you. Somebody else can come along and tell them, then they're like, oh, yeah. Yisrael is the same way with the messengers of Yahweh. Everybody want to be like Moses. But to get like Moses, they got to start off trying to be Korah. And when Yahweh correct their error, they don't see it. They still keep pressing on. Why? Because even in paying us off sometime, Yahweh pay us off lightly and allow his mercy to endure forever. See, everybody don't learn straight out the gate from just swift and severe judgment. You do something wrong one time, that's it. Yahweh got you. He killed him. Yeah, I'm glad Yahweh killed him. Oh, yeah, he sinned too. Yep, he got him too. Yahweh is not like that. We build it up. What did Yahshua say to the generation there? He said, fill up then the measure of your fathers and fill it up. Run the cup over. Because when it runs over at the appointed time, Yahweh will get you. See, sometimes we lose faith. We want Yahweh to get them one time out. I got a mean-spirited neighbor. He's always doing something so subtle against me. It's stuff that you can't just flat out say, he did it. We know he did it. We all say it. It's always subtle. Trying to destroy the property. Always subtle. And I thought on it the other day as I really began to pray about it. The Spirit of Yahweh let me continue to pray. Because when it fills up, you're going to pay him. That's the way of the world. When it fills up, Yahweh is merciful. He's giving you a chance to stop. Give you a chance to collect yourself. Give you a chance to come to your senses. Give you a chance to see you wrong. You keep on going. When your cup fills up, he'll pay you. So we're the same way with the nations today. We don't have to argue with you about who we are. I don't get out on no corner and argue with people about us being Hebrews. I said what I said and didn't stutter when I said it. No amount of arguing and debating going to change what Yahweh give you. If Yahweh tell you say something, you say what Yahweh tell you say. You live the way Yahweh say live. You ain't got to argue about it. That's what Yisrael is not learning. So he says, a man's foe should be there of his own household. He that loves his father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. He that loves his son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And he that taketh not his burden and followeth after me is not worthy of me. You can't just follow Yahweh when you feel like it or when it's convenient. Sometimes following Yahweh is inconvenient for you in this lifetime. He made it inconvenient that you might understand the way and be delivered. He that findeth his life shall lose it. He that loses his life for my sake shall find it again. We don't know that change brings conflict. People ain't listening. Watch this. Can I show y'all something in Revelations real quick? Go to Revelation 17:12. I want to show you something. See, our brothers, they don't look at stuff like this because they think they say it ain't happening. That's not true. Revelation 17:12 through 18. Listen to this. It says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. So now they unify. They want their man in charge. Hey, look, we don't get behind him. When he comes, we behind our man all the way, right? These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is Yahweh of Sabaoth. He's Yahweh of hosts. He's over all, and King of kings. And they that are with him are called and chosen and plain. Faithful, right? Okay, that's what we're talking about today. How Israel is doubting, provoking, and playing with Yahweh. Here he says those that are his are called, chosen, and faithful. We ain't worrying about what the other groups of the world are doing. We are striving to do what Yahweh says do. Is that making any sense? We can't stop unrighteousness. We can only stop it with ourselves. This has to be. This thing is unfolding. And when Yisrael gets so wicked and snap off and can't wait on Yahweh, they lose their minds. Man, I'm telling you, we go out of our mind. And he says unto me, the waters which thou sawest where the whore sitteth are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. See, there's a whore sitting on top of all this. And the 10 whores which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. When Yahweh start bringing this world system down, he going to make them turn on what they established. They're going to start hating it because it's holding them in check. What is the whore? Anyway. For Yahweh hath put it in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree to give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. Wait a minute, these men gonna give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of Yahweh be fulfilled? How we gonna duck this? How we gonna push this to the backseat and take a piece of prophecy that make us feel good and we think this is it, and now we accepting this, but yet all the words of when Yahshua said, you ain't going home until I come. Revelations 19:17. These 10 kings, man, as they setting things up and laying low right now, they got a plan going, and most people don't know what the plan is. And I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great Elohim, that ye may eat the flesh of kings. Look at that. And the flesh of captains, and the flesh of mighty men, and the flesh of horses, and them that sit on them, and the flesh of all men, both free and bond, small and great. And I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, which had deceived them that had received the mark of the beast. See how it works? They had received the mark. Something is coming to control the global economy. And it has to come before Yahshua comes. It has to come before you go home. Not you go home and then it gets set up. No, 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 no. The book says here, the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles in front of him. And he that deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worshipped his image, these both were cast alive into the lake of fire. Come on, man. Burning with fire and brimstone. Come on, man. And the remnant was slain with the sword of him that sat upon the horse, which sword proceeded out of his mouth. And all the fowls were filled with their flesh. See how Yahweh got a cleaning system? Change comes with conflict. Because conflict is what brings about the change. So then he gathered all the fowls, all the birds. Birds come out of nowhere. Go down there and eat them. Clean that earth up. Go get them. Go drink that blood. Do whatever. Some of these birds, you all know the vultures and eagles, they got a keen sense of smell. Eagle got some sharp eyes. Come on, man. They fly up there and look around. You drive anywhere in the country, you know what's something dead, because they up there circling around. They're waiting on the right opportunity. They smell it. They zero in on it and come on down and eat. Y'all gonna feed them so well, they ain't got to circle around. He said, come to the supper. So Yisrael might as well prepare themselves. This is why I said we got to stop being so nutty. Every little doctrine and sleight of men come along now. They take a word, twist the word, make a word mean something. Yahweh has to speak to the mind of his nation. What no concordances when they come up out of the land of Egypt? How did everybody know to go? Except Yahweh brought the trouble and the calamity upon them in such a way that he raised the messenger up that caught the national attention of the people. Not no one or two over here and there. Moses rose and caught the national attention of the people. Any old man didn't do that. Every man didn't do it. Where was Korah? Why didn't Korah do it? Moses had to flee. He killed the man. He had to get on up and get out of Egypt. Where were you then, Korah? Why you didn't rise up and take the people then? He said, well, see, he's the one we thought was going to take us. He didn't kill somebody. Now he had to flee. You know what? I ain't going to wait till he get back. Come on, y'all. Let's go. Did it happen that way? No. But because like leadership today, they want to be so damn great. They take all this responsibility upon them. Look at Farrakhan. Where has he led the people? All these years. Tell the truth. Got behind the murder of Malcolm. Got the man murdered, despised him. Where have you taken us? Look, since we're on the subject, might as well bring this up. Minister Farrakhan did something that I really didn't like. Minister Farrakhan singled us out for a special level of a treatment a few years ago. He told them people in them final call articles that many black people in America are the sons of the children of Yisrael. But he never stopped preaching Islam. Which raises a question. What kind of deal did you cut? And who did you single us out to? See, the assemblies of Yahweh got people that travel the country, just going from assembly to assembly, assembly to assembly, assembly to assembly. They looking for people with a revelation. They're looking for men with an understanding of the word of Yah. They travel from assembly to assembly. We had the little woman come here with the same old nonsense. Nothing you preach, just had something to say about every little thing. Just telling you all, we sleep on stuff we should be woke to. You think the state of is it real is going to sit over there and let you gather up strength in Yahshua, knowing that when he's come, he's going to take the land from them? And they not gather intelligence to fight you? You all not paying attention. You're not paying attention. I said when I first stood up, some people hate you while pretending to be you, and yet are not concerned about the salvation of their soul. They're concerned about being the dominant figures in the earth in this day. Just want to be in charge only in this lifetime. We are not after works just in this lifetime. We are after the gift of eternal life. And in case you ain't checked it lately, you're going to have to fight for it. Even if you're fighting against yourself, you're going to have to fight for it. We don't think on that scale. We want Yahweh to come down and do everything for us. He don't have to keep the commandments. He is the commandment. You hear me? He don't have to keep it. He is it. He has always been righteous. Does not Dawid describe Yahweh's commandments? He said, thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy Torah is the truth. So didn't he describe it as such? Come on, Yahweh has always been, always will be. Why he got to come keep the Sabbath? Only at this sanctuary and ain't with everybody wherever they scattered elsewhere? We don't think. And that's why a lot of times we remain downtrodden and bogged down in the earthly conditions that we live in. That's why we stay in there and our conditions never change. Just the same old thing. Your little children should be proud to serve Yahweh, to sing praises to his name. You as elder fathers and mothers should take delight in being able to have a testimony, to tell the children what Yah has done for you. It's a delight. Should be able to tell it. My father used to always tell stories and say things, and then he would cap it off by saying, I'm not talking about something I've read. I'm talking about what I know. Talking about what I've experienced for myself in Yahweh. And he's to always tell the congregation, you got to get to know him for yourself. I'm young. I didn't really like hearing that because on the merits of my father, I heard Minister Dawid say last night, I can't make it in off of what Zarkane did. I got to make it in for myself. And he had such a beautiful and profound point. That's true. I can't be delivered off of what my father did. What he taught. That is the truth. I have to follow that. But I can't be saved because he did something great that got him in. I got to get in on my marriage. You got to get in on your marriage. You got to get in on the merits of obeying the Torah of Yahweh, which means you have to fight for it. You hear me? You have to fight for it. Some things are just naturally competitive. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't like sports anymore because sports teach competition and all this other stupid stuff. Yeah, you get a little exercise out of it, but it teaches you when people are sore losers, sin enters into the game. They kill one another over game and all this stuff. Different rivalry teams fighting each other. This man liked the Yankees, this man liked the Dodgers. Now they fight. Over what? But now some things are competitive where in order to obtain it, you have to fight for it. Somebody's trying to counterfeit righteousness. And even among a lot of Yisrael, you got to go with the scriptures. Romans 11 tell you they are not all Yisrael that are of Yisrael. Everybody saying the Israelites are not Yisrael. Come on, everybody not. But that don't mean you give up. Keep pressing on. Get to know Yahweh for yourself. This ain't no one day a week thing. You got to live this thing every day. And I don't mean live it now with every conversation you have. You talking about the scriptures. Yeah, man, I'm just reading in Luke chapter 3. Whoo, boy, something else. Yeah, I know, man. I was reading in Jeremiah 12. Yeah, me too. I was reading over there in John. Come on, Yisrael. You have to live it. That's all you have to do. Man at the bank machine the other day took care of his business and walked away and left his card in there. Say, hey, brother, man, I know you got your money and you're happy and all, but you might want to get that card too. Oh, man, I forgot. Just that fast. I'm glad you're honest. I said, yeah, me too. And I meant that. Glad I was honest. Because the Torah says, thou shalt not steal. Yeah, I'm glad I was honest. For my soul's sake. Not for arrogance. We as a people have to learn. We have to obey Yahweh 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And it ain't got nothing to do with no religious zealotry. It has everything to do with learning. Man, Yahweh made all this for us and more. And we messed it up. And we have messed it up so bad that nobody has anything to blush about. So then we all got to walk so humbly with Yahweh that we just strive to make it in. This is why I take my time each week and go through the scriptures first. I'll touch back on the lost books and suppressed books and all that other stuff. But right now, I know for a clear-cut solid fact, a lot of Israel, they don't even understand the book. The brothers don't take this book and open this book up like they ought to. They don't understand it. They don't even know how to teach the people how to live according to the beauty of what's in the book. Everybody claim they got it. The Christian world claim they got it. Church, everybody claim they got it. Homosexual movement going on all around. The church don't say nothing. You're supposed to be the leaders of truth. You're supposed to be the purveyor. You're supposed to hold up the standard. Won't say nothing. Scared of. Isn't that something? Now, I'm going to be scared of a man that's scared to be a man. Think about that. That homophobia. Right? Now they like to get technical with you. Sometimes you got to get technical back with them. Wait a minute. What does homo mean? It means man. Okay. What does phobia mean? It means fear. Okay, hold now. Homo means man. Fear means fear. Is that in fear of being a man? Is that why you, as a man, now want to act like a woman? And when I speak against you, it takes courage to speak against you. How am I afraid? Am I making any sense? So the homophobia is in the gay man. Take your time. Think of the definition. Because the devil will throw stuff out there and you'd be like, oh, I never thought about it that way. You didn't think about it that way because it's a lie. Then when somebody tell you, look at the meaning of that stuff. Come on, man. Now you got all this other stuff. Transgender. Trans as in transferring, as in carrying something, as in moving something somewhere. Where you moving it at? Transgender. Where you carrying your gender to? When you born a boy, now you're a 65-year-old boy pretending to be a woman who was supposed to have been a man. You preach that, now you get labeled. Something's wrong with the world. You condemning everybody, straight men and women, for having families. Now you come along condemning. And the children of Israel sit back and let it go. We crazy as we want to be. I was looking at a post a young brother showed the people down in Egypt the other day. I said, do you really think that's how we look down there? A muscular man and woman in sports bra and a bikini. I kid y'all, I can show you. I kid you not. That's how we think. Sports bra and a bikini with the African headdress on. I'm like, our minds are gone. That's the stuff we into. And when you start asking them questions, they get mad and want to fight. Yahweh said we were going into captivity because of our transgression, because of our sin. He laid out so many different things that happened to us. I'm waiting to hear what ISIS had to say about all of this. What date did ISIS give for our restoration? When did Horus say he was coming back to get us? When did Amun Ra, what did he say he was going to do? How does all this befall us? And now all of a sudden, Amun Ra, Isis, Horus, Osiris, all are missing in action. And ain't got nothing to say. Hey, little help here. Look, I didn't see this one coming, David. I didn't see it. Yeah, they killed me with that one too. The ancestors. The ancestors what? The book says the dead know not anything. You think Abraham rolling over in his grave? Man, I knew they was going to do it, man. Look at David, that boy. They don't know. The spirit has returned back to Yahweh who gave it. Our ancestors ain't looking over no balcony in heaven. Look at him. Now, he's stupid, but them some nice looking Nikes on his feet. They're not looking down heaven like that. Cut that nonsense out. Christian preachers don't even preach that, truth be told. Oh, soft Joel Osteen. You don't hear him talking like that. Oh, the ancestors are looking down on us as we continue to whip the black people into shape and enslave them. Oh, yes, put that offering over there. We don't understand, man. We as a people. Let me show you something as I wrap this up. Let's go to the book of the Psalms, chapter 50. I like it when people anger Yahweh and he answers them for himself. See, the Christian world teach people some stupid stuff. And it teaches them some stupid stuff in such a way where they don't even think Yahweh got a mind to speak for himself. Yahweh always sweet, kind, compassionate. They probably got him effeminized in their mind. See, it's a certain type of man the world don't like. A man that exercises authority. All right, my little grandson was cutting up the other day. I said it one time. Hey, stop that. Get over there on that chair and sit down. He just broke down crying. He went to the chair. And he sat there and cried. Why? Because authority spoke. But now, Yahweh, he got to be soft. You done sin the biggest sin going. And Yahweh all of a sudden, bless you, my child. No wrath, no anger, no judgment, because his mercy endures forever. Oh, really? See, that's somebody that ain't read the book and they ain't let Yahweh speak for himself. They try to put some duct tape over his mouth. Oh, really? Psalms 50, verse 14. I love this. He says, offer unto Yahweh thanksgiving and pay thy vows unto the Most High. Didn't we make a vow? Didn't we as a nation say, all that Yahweh have said, we will do it? Then pay your debt. Right? He says, offer unto Yahweh thanksgiving and pay thy vows unto the Most High. And call upon me in the day of trouble. I will deliver thee, and thou shalt glorify me. Right? But he's love. He's love. I can do what I want to do because he ain't going to get me. The verse here begins with a word that takes the rest of the conversation in the opposite direction. It says, but unto the wicked, Yahweh says, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldst take my covenant in thy mouth? In other words, what are you doing even talking about the book? What are you doing even looking at it? You ain't obeying me, seeing thou hate instruction. Patrick Henderson, seeing that thou hatest instruction and cast my words behind thee. When thou sawest a thief, thou consented with him. And thou hast been partaker with adulterers. How are your black elected officials always get kicked out of office for taking bribes and committing adultery? Stop and think about it. They always jam them up on that. Even Kamala Harris, right? Wasn't she 29 years old, dating Willie Wilson, who was married? Oh, y'all don't know that part. I'm going to leave it alone. Since y'all don't know, I'm going to keep on. Remember, Barack said, and she's pretty too. She ain't pretty. You got to stir people and look at them real close sometimes. See, you all be saying people pretty because of the complexion thing. Tell me that ain't how we function. The closer we get to white, oh, ain't he pretty? Oh, ain't she? Cut that out. Y'all made all the molds for the facial features of humanity. They don't say that when they find a little dog, half bear, or half puppy, or whatever it is. They don't say that then when that little thing be born. Somebody went out and cross-gendered with a pig or something, and the thing looked like a fat little boy. They don't say, oh, ain't he pretty? They ain't say that. Everybody just, ooh. Nah, don't ooh now. Give him some prettiness. Put a pamper on him and some Johnson's baby powder. Clean him on out. Nah, ooh. Yahweh says, when you saw a thief, you consented with him and been partaker with adulterers. That's why you keep voting, and this is all you get. Thou givest thy mouth to evil. Oh, we got something wicked to say. And thy tongue framest deceit. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, and slanderest thine own mother's son. I went to see my brother the other day. My uncle had passed away. My brother said, I hadn't talked to you. I didn't call you, man. I didn't get a chance to call you. I owed you that money. I said, hey. I said, but I said, hey. Nobody worry about no money. I had to find you to give you some news. But I'm just saying, hey. I want him to understand the money meant nothing. It's only pieces of paper. You didn't have it to pay back. You just didn't have it. Come on. Just wanted to make an announcement, let them know something had happened and keep it moving. He said, yeah, I thought you was mad at me about that. Why should I be mad at you over that? Come on, man. We've all done things where Yahweh should be mad at us, but yet his mercy endures forever. We want mercy, we better learn how to show mercy. And it starts at home. He says, these things hast thou done, and I kept silence. You thought that I was altogether one like unto yourself. See how y'all was talking to the wicked? You think I'm just like you. And ain't that how the wicked think today? Ku Klux Klan and all. Kill you, rope you, pull you up a tree, set a cross on fire. Now your skin black, you got to burn, get roasted like a piece of chicken because Jesus told them to do it. And you come home praying to the same God. Now Jesus never speak to him, say, hey man, look, get that noose off his neck and let him down from that tree for I slay you. Jesus don't never say nothing. Never. Two groups of people in the world right now that most people should despise is Ku Klux Klan and gangbangers. I'll wait. Name one Klansman the gangbangers ever shot. It's the end of that. That's the end of that. They don't shoot the Klan. Their bullets just go the other way when they come out their gun. Maybe their guns loaded with dum-dum bullets. So I don't know whether there's a Klanman there. Yeah, shoot him. Down bullet. Oh no, sir. Go the other way. I don't understand it. Jesus don't say to the Klan, stop that. You're hating them. They were before you. Jesus don't never say nothing. He always busy when you going up that tree. He always busy. He always off working in mysterious ways when you need his help. Yeah, ain't that something? He working in mysterious ways. I bet it is mysterious. Ain't it funny? Jesus wear a white robe too. He just ain't pulled the hood up yet. I know. Some of y'all don't like that. But I'm so glad Yahshua ain't like Jesus. I'm so glad Yahshua ain't no gangbanger. He says, now consider this, ye that forget Yahweh, lest I tear you in pieces, and there be none to deliver you. I like the way he talked to him. Yeah, I talked to him. He let him know, now look, consider this. I know a man years ago, that man, he was a terrible man. He in his 60s now. That man wanted to be played with when he was a young man. Old lesbian sister. He pulled out and almost hit her car. He said it was nothing. He pulled out. He hit the brakes. He saw the car at the last minute. He said it wasn't even an accident. She stopped and got out the car with her little knife and ran up on him and talked trash to him, what have you, and got back in the car. He said, man, I was thinking to myself, I'm glad I'm old because you have no idea who you talking to. 25 years ago, I'd have stretched you out and everything in the car with you because I didn't want nobody to see you. And I was thinking to myself when he said it, ooh, yeah, sure, you're right. I know you. I know he would have did it. He said, the strangest thing to me. He said, I thank God. Then he stopped and looked at me and said, I meant Yahweh. That he touched my heart and changed me. And I looked at him like y'all looking at me. I was like, wow. That's all I could say. Wow. Because I know the brother wasn't to be played with. But see, that's the generation. The same way they disrespect people. Everybody had their turn. When men were younger, they were out there, they were tough. Whenever they grow old, okay, you had your time. Young generation come right now, they're young and tough. They having their time. But Yahshua is greater. And he gonna set this world straight. So I say to Yisrael, the only time we need to be having is an awesome time in knowing that we serve the true and living Elohim. That's the greatest delight that there is. You hear me? He says, whosoever offereth praise glorifieth me. And to him that ordereth his conduct aright will I show the salvation of Yahweh. You hear that? You have to see the salvation of Yahweh face to face. And you better pray that you see it in peace. Otherwise, the scripture says in the book of the Psalms, chapter 2, verse 12, kiss the Son, lest he be angry, when his wrath is kindled but a little, and ye perish from the way. Let him keep on thinking he playing. Let him keep on thinking everything gonna be soft and smooth and in some little negligee style robe and gonna forgive you like the Catholic priest and slide you up under the robe and little fornication. Keep on thinking that's the way it's gonna be. We as the children of Israel, stop doubting, provoking, and playing with Yahweh. Obey him. Because the truth of the matter is as simple as this. You either are or you are not. There's no in between. And may the blessings of Yahweh rest upon your soul, Yisrael. Think about what I said. All those hours in the week and what little bit of time that Yah commands from the children of Israel, we do it as if we're being held hostage. It's a delight to me to serve Yahweh. Don't get on my nerves. Don't get on my path. I love Yahweh because he has heard my cry. Yisrael, let us stand. Abba Yahweh, we come before you today as we give you all the honor and praise unto your Kodesh name. We ask a special blessing upon your people, the children of Israel, especially in the latter days and the time of the close of this age. Touch the hearts and minds of your people, the children of Israel. Give them the strength and comfort that they need to be able to stand, especially in these last and extremely evil days. Abba Yahweh, we beg of you in Yahshua's name to please be with our mouths so that no lies or falsehoods are uttered out of our mouths. Let us not speak anything in rash or in anger against thee, anything that will anger you and cause you to keep us out of the greatness of the kingdom to come. But we ask you, Abba Yahweh, to help us to love one another in a very special manner. Give unto us the love that Moshe and Aaron had for the people of Israel, that as a time when you were about to destroy them, that they had enough love to stand and to plead for you, to have mercy upon those that you have chosen. We ask this same prayer in Yahshua's name in this last day and age and generation. As this world winds down and draws to a close, continue to open our eyes to the things that we might see, that those that are your messengers are able to continue to teach and to guide your people. We realize that great dangers and awesome troubles are coming upon the face of this earth, but we know that Yahshua HaMashiach is greater. And he said in his word that he would never leave us nor forsake us. So we put all of our keeping in your hands, Almighty Yahweh, and commend our souls unto you, that at the day of thine appearing, that as you said in your word, you will show us your salvation. Help us to see his blessed face in peace. And let the words of our mouths and the meditations of our heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Yahweh, our strength and our Redeemer. And may the precious blessings of Yahweh never depart from your houses, Yisrael, wherever you may be found throughout the face of this earth. Hallelujah. 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 Yahweh. Happy Shabbat unto you all, Yisrael. Yah Barak.